What is going on? Primetime 19, Cyrus the Looney here, joined with the mighty Doctor Who and the ever-powerful Unrius powering through, getting the fights, keeping him going. I know this man's gone up very little sleep, but going to be surviving purely off the entertainment we provide tonight. We've got one hell of a stacked card ahead of us, guys. Going to be having EK Trickzzy, DirtyDave in the main event, and got the ICB boys matching up in the co-main as well with ICB Reaper and Honest Jim. Absolutely stacked at the bottom. I mean, what can you say, Doc? Any particular fights that stand out to you other than the main two there, brother?
Bang Bang versus Smart Brady. Smart Brady's on like a 4 or 5 win streak, I believe. And Bang Bang has been making his name in primetime, going through everybody with KO after KO. Probably competing with Tadpole with his KO streak, to be fair.
Yeah, it's been absolutely crazy. His hands have been out of this world. We knew it was going to be the case when his name was Bang Bang. Comes in there throwing those hands really aggressively. And obviously he's up against dangerous Smart Brady, so interesting to see what those guys match up. Plenty of other fights there. I don't know if you have any that stand out to yourself there, Unrius.
I'm definitely excited for, like you said, the Bang Bang fight versus Smart Brady. I've seen both of them fight in other leagues as well as this one, and they're always just hunting for that kill. It's just a non-stop pace of action, and I'm super excited to see it for sure.
Hells yes, brother, hells yes. Well, we've got an interesting fight up first. We're going to be having a Mr. Salty Joey. He's going to be up against the Irish Zombie. Without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. First fight of the early prelims.
I'm excited, for sure.
Hell yes, man. Honestly, this is a stacked ass event. It's an absolute pleasure to call these types of events when you just got killer after killer. Matchups are perfect. Obviously, everything's kind of lining up. We got a lot of prospects coming up the line, and obviously got the top of the top when it comes to the main event and the co-main event. Those guys are absolute savages. Come from very, very dominant camps themselves, and obviously looking to put on one hell of a show tonight. But starting us out, we've got Cody Garbrandt, Peter Yan, as we said, Irish Zombie up against Salty Joey.
Cody's arguably got the better striking. His chin's about an 85, so that means he does suffer quite a bit. As you can see, the Peter Yan's done a fantastic job early on looking for that takedown, but Cody stuffs it.
Yeah, I will say Cody's chin does make this an interesting matchup, but Cody does does great work in the pocket as well as at a somewhat of a range, so you can just lunge in and out. And he's doing pretty good work. He's just block breaking and just slowly walking him down, not over, extending and getting himself caught.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, as you were saying, dog brother.
The Jan's doing a fantastic job. He's playing a bit. He's not circling away from the cage. He's backing off, allowing the cage to overextend to clip, which is fantastic in how not to get a bit hit by the Cody. It's just, and now he's come back in the pocket. That's nice.
I was going to say, I mean, Cody was doing a good job of stepping in and out, but some of the shots missing, and obviously now Salty Joey doing an excellent job just kind of making sure that everything connects with Yan, and it doesn't have to be a big shot with Yan. He's got some serious power. I mean, as does Cody, but I've used Yan recently for the first time, and he actually felt incredibly powerful, just to, deceptively so.
Yan's got Eddie Alvarez posture, I believe. So he has the same kind of striking style as Eddie Alvarez, which we've seen been used previously as in very mean side.
Oh, there's a beautiful rock though, and he backs Yan up towards the cage. It's definitely looking good right now for a Zombie.
It's fairly even on the feet, to be fair. Both of them trading shots coming in and out. Their chin's actually staying fairly similar, which is a good sign, especially for the Yan, that he's for the Cody in fact, because his chin is getting hit, but he's hitting back harder.
Yeah, his block's a little bit low right now, but honestly, the most impressive thing for me currently is Irish Zombie's stamina. With Cody Garbrandt, you normally find that obviously your stamina goes a little bit quicker than your opponent's, but he's doing a really good job of just staying behind like an educated jab and striking, throwing that lead hook now a lot. Maybe seeing something, his opponent was stepping off a little bit to that direction a moment ago.
He's reliant to the block. I feel like he's trying to implement head movement, but that block, especially with how low it is gonna be the issue coming into the second round.
For sure.
Now we don't see it often, but he's using that arm extension to back up and get out of range quite well. And yeah, as you said, his block is going down, and his head health is getting a little dangerous, but he's still,
Fantastic.
Pivot.
Yeah, I was going to say that was an excellent step off by Cody Garbrandt. If he's able to follow up with the shot after one of those, then literally could be lights out for Peter Yan. But both guys looking very, very dangerous in the first round. Considering this is the first fight of the early prelims, seeing these guys doing very, very well, throwing, fighting a very, very educated technical strike so far. Striking affair. Obviously, they took a moment to kind of adjust and get into it, but now they found their range. I mean, basically, everything's been on mark since then.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting one, in fact, because you see Yan's done a very measured approach. He's allowed the Cody in the first round to pressure, and now starting from the pressure. As I say that, though, he gets dropped. Seems like
this could actually be even it. His head health is low, but no, he survives it. There's a good little bit of defensive movement. I think he was able to post one or two of the shots, which was golden, and probably the reason he survived right there, but also able to get the separation, and now trying to just work his shots again. I mean, getting a little bit of a marauding style out of Peter Yan, trying to march forward, and
block has ever been the lowest I've ever seen it.
Especially for this early in the second round. I mean, still 3 minutes 40 on the clock. Oh, big rock.
Yeah. That rear hook comes out again. We saw him earlier get clipped by and stunned.
Yeah, I mean, uppercut as well. Beautiful work in the clinch. He went body, went up to the head on the separation, and is just continuing this phenomenal pace, man. Knocks him down again. This might be it this time for sure. Low block as well, only took one shot.
Oh, and it's over.
It's the issue with Cody's chin. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, it was definitely, he had a great performance early on, and it's just once the block was done, Yan was able to land his heavy strikes, and it was pretty much game over from there.
Indeed. The Cody pressured out in the first round. The Yan came back, did a fantastic job making words. He's done a fantastic job of measuring that pressure and controlling how we got pressured, in fact.
Yeah, no, honestly, a very, very good fight, especially for the opening one. Those guys came game as hell. Interesting to see where they both go from here, because both guys showed, promising moments. It's not like either guy came out and had a terrible performance. They both looked very, very dangerous. Obviously, able to pick up the win this evening was Salty, and good doing so. I don't know, he did a great job of working that block down in that first round, and he obviously, even though he spent a little bit more stamina than he probably wanted to in that first round, he still had plenty in the tank, and there was no block left to be seen when it came to Irish Zombie. So great fight. Many more to go. Up next we're going to be having TK Omoplata. He's going to be up against the DirtyDave. Yeah, interesting fight. I believe it's going to be a welterweight fight. I'm not too familiar with either guy. Bobby Niesel is DirtyDave. Sorry, got a different gamer tag to what we have him on the Discord. But yeah, no, interesting fight. Going to be a welterweight. This weight class has got some killers in it. Obviously, great grapplers. A lot of great grapplers in this weight class, but also got some very good strikers as well.
I'm expecting Omoplata to go a striker. He used to fight back in the UFC 3 days, so he's come over here. So it'll be interesting to see how his skills have gone from UFC 3 to UFC 4. He's predominantly a striker as well, so if I see a grappler pick, I'll be even more intrigued.
Well, I was actually wrong. It looks like it's actually a lightweight pick. Much the same, same sentiment though, to be fair. Lots of good strikers, plenty of great grapplers as well. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I've fought TK Omoplata before, and sadly, it was originally when I didn't know how to defend joint subs. He does have a slick ground game, and he does have pretty good stand-up as well. I fought him recently, and he made me work for it for sure.
I mean, interesting pick right here. Obviously, Omoplata going Michael Johnson. I mean, I rate it. I'm not going to lie to you. I rate the Michael Johnson pick. He's got fast hands, hits hard.
9 hand speed? Or was that UFC 3?
I'm not too sure on this one, brother.
Against Gaethje, though, but I mean, he does have the speed advantage, but I do believe Gaethje will have all the power advantage for sure if he lands that one strike. Quite
possibly. You're probably right with that one. Gaethje definitely probably the harder hitter of the two, but let's not sleep on Michael Johnson. No matter how hard you can get hit, if he gets clipped with a big shot like that, I mean, it could be lights out very, very quickly, so he's got to be careful, even though he's got the Gaethje pick. It's not in the bag just with that, and lovely straight off Omoplata. He's looking pretty clean.
Some wild head movement off Derpinator, though. It could lead to him getting caught early on. Lovely checked by Omoplata there.
Omoplata is definitely working well in the pocket, and he's also using really good head movement to avoid those heavy strikes. And then when he goes in, he's just landing those crisp, clean, short strikes. Oh, beautiful head kick.
I mean, when you see somebody pick a Michael Johnson, you know that they're confident, man. How confident. I honestly expected him to come out and do some great things, and right now he's living up to it. Derpinator's going to have to make some adjustments and start landing on his opponent, get his respect back a little bit. That's a big miss.
Respecting the power of Gaethje. He's standing there, he's not growing too wild, he's just walking forward, but then not throwing anything, waiting for a reaction, then coming back in. So from there, we would lovely try and pull count, but sadly, it's got blocked.
Yeah, he's definitely using like a push-pull method, and it's working so far. He's definitely landing, more strikes. In my opinion, possibly, heavier shots, because he's just waiting to counter as well.
Oh, he leans off into the wrong side and gets caught with an overhand, even though it is partially blocked. Does a good job of just jabbing his opponent, and right now the nose of Gaethje looking pretty bad, but flying knee attempt from Gaethje lands.
That leg is becoming an issue.
Yeah, definitely Derpinator's not out of the fight yet. He's showing, he's showing some good strikes when he's close range, but he's finding trouble getting his range without, getting punished for it.
Yeah,
Every time pocket, he's getting met by short strikes, very efficient and accurate strikes.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's Omoplata's going down the down the center with all of his shots, other than the occasional head kick. He's just firing jabs and straights, keeping it short and simple, and catching Gaethje as he's going for these hooks on the entry. So he's done a great job so far, but we're seeing Derpinator now start to try and make some adjustments when he's on the inside with those straights. But honestly, Omoplata's looking fantastic, and I mean, he's going to see a second round, but that was a great opening round for Omoplata. That's one hell of a debut for that man.
It's an impressive debut, to say the least, especially with how much he's done to Gaethje's head health as Michael Johnson.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he's from TK, so is that Team Chaos, I believe? I think that's what they were called, right?
I believe so. We've had people like Jim Jams come out of that camp.
Yes, for sure. I mean, they've seen...
Dominant striker.
Pull up their roster right now. I mean, I've seen their name about for sure. They're an up-and-coming gym, and right now their member making a debut is doing an excellent job. He's got to be careful not to let it slip away, because obviously his opponent is coming game tonight. He's going to be trying to get that fight back, but obviously right now it's his fight to lose, I feel, after such a very strong opening round.
That leg kick is Gaethje's plan, seeming like he's relying a bit on the hand power and a lucky shot, but that leg kick seems to be the centre game plan here.
Oh my god, man, that's a lovely head kick. Going down the center all those times, set him up for that head kick. Got his opponent leaning off the center line, and the lead hook, Jesus, sits him down.
As you were saying, that Len or that centre line, that was deep.
Oh, man. That's, I mean, we all doubted the pick. Some of us kind of were like, I don't know. But he definitely showed that personal skill can outshine stats any day.
For sure. I mean, he came out and looked incredibly technical tonight, and you did it with the style of Michael Johnson. Definitely an underrated pick. He made it work, and looked fantastic doing so. TK, definitely a man to watch out for. Only made his first fight, but also, already got my eyes peaked to seeing what he can do next.
No, for sure. It should be an exciting road for him, because that was a dominant performance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that obviously Bobby Diesel is going to be back better than ever. It's not like this is the end of the road or anything like that. Of course, he came up against a very, very tough opponent, and when you're making your debut, it can be hard to find your rhythm. So he's going to go back, obviously go to the drawing board and try to find out where he went wrong a little bit tonight, come back better than ever. But Omoplata picking up an excellent W for his debut, and like I said, interesting to see where he goes. But for that, guys, we're now going to be moving on to obviously the next fight of the evening. Got many, many more to come. Obviously, like I said, absolutely stacked top to bottom. We're now moving on to the actual prelims. Those are the early prelims. Kind of finished off with, if you will, Broomstick. The LFC Zombie now is up next. I'm not overly familiar with LFC Zombie. I know he's been making some good appearances recently, but I believe obviously he's an up-and-coming fighter from the LFC camp. They've been producing a lot of killers recently, so up against a tough guy, though. He's unranked currently, both gentlemen, but Broomstick, I believe, has been around for a little while, and I've seen him put on some great performances in the past.
Broomstick's been making his name. 2-4, not a bad record, especially some of the names. He's got names like Chasing Fam, Nap Giver, as we mentioned earlier, Jim Jams. Very good names, have very intensive strikers. A couple of them are grapplers as well. All threats everywhere. Zombies 2-0, looking to make that 3-0.
Yeah, and I've sparred with LFC the Don, and I mean, if you're in LFC, they only take some of the best. So I'm kind of excited to see this. He's definitely, like you said, he's 2-0 over somebody like Vanessa and Shane. That's a big win. So I'm very excited to see what he can do.
Hell yes. I mean, flyweight division, we've got TJ Dillashaw in the red gloves, obviously Figueiredo in the blue gloves. Figueiredo is LFC Zombie, Broomstick, TJ Dillashaw. Starting pretty quick, both guys going for the knee. Obviously, both guys going to be happy to get into a bit of a dogfight by the looks of things.
TJ Dillashaw's chin's about a 90 at this way, actually. He's probably one of the lowest in flyweight. With Figgy's hand power, you don't want to be getting hit in the face too much as Dillashaw.
No, for sure, for sure. I do believe that the block of Figueiredo isn't exactly fantastic either, so interesting to see how these guys are going to be able to trade it out, but it looks like Figueiredo is going to be going for the takedown a little bit right now, and maybe a smart move with the jiu-jitsu of Figueiredo if he's able to hit the mat.
Yeah,
I find that...
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's Broomstick's definitely working very well in the pocket. You know, as someone who's, you know, as I said, I'm more of a journeyman, and like, you know, when I'm in ranks, is like I kind of dread seeing TJ Dillashaw's because the insane amount of pressure they can just pour on you.
It's a lot of it's to do with the combination. Obviously, he has the cardio, but you've got to watch that chin, man. I mean, right now, Zombies is landing some very, very successful shots. You see him just piecing it up, landing that beautiful spin kick. I'm surprised that wasn't a rock. His head tails looked very, very low.
Zombie's doing a fantastic job. Gets a lovely takedown there off that bush kick. Is now looking probably to transition out of the full guard, but even then, I think Figueiredo's got a couple of leg locks to threaten from the full guard position if needed.
Yeah, he does seem like he's going more ground and pound there, Juan Rios. So I'm not, like I said, these LFC boys, they're very, very dangerous on the ground. You alluded to earlier, they're only looking to take on very, very good players, and looks like they've got one on their hands here. He's looking very good tonight, but let's not sleep on Broomstick. He's doing, you know, a lot of the right things to defend himself. Right now, staying very patient, looking to work himself back to the feet when he gets an opportunity, and great ground and pound defense from that man.
This is what...
Oh, that's my fault. All right, we'll go back. So, Doctor, go ahead.
I was going to mention the idea of the full guard. Doesn't matter.
At this point, they just got front kicked in the face, brother. It doesn't really matter. He's doing a good job of swinging the shots. Obviously, managed to survive once again. His ground defense as a whole, Broomsticks, is fantastic. He's done a good job of posting those shots, moving the head at the right times, and just so far done an excellent job of evading. Goes for the armbar, and he managed to get a denial first as well, so this could be close if he's able to track him in the early going.
He's low. It's less than half stamina. He's done a fantastic job coming back and forth. He's staying out.
He stops the slam. That is huge, mate. It's going to be past the halfway mark in a moment as well, which is going to speed up when he's able to flat him out on the back.
10 seconds left, though. Even if he does, the sub bars, I think it's a bit too far away.
Yeah, it was too far. Got me excited there, man. That looked very, very close. Broomstick would have come out with one hell of a submission if he was able to get that at the end of the round.
Especially against Figueiredo, who's got a quite high sub day, if I'm not mistaken.
He has. Jiu-Jitsu black belt, I believe, right?
He's got rubber guard as well. It's always good.
Now, originally, I was highlighting, you know, Broomstick's, you know, good pressure and everything, but I forgot to mention, you know, the patience that we're seeing for Zombie. You know, he was just basically defending himself, just biding his time, waiting for the right shots.
Yeah, and he's, you know, like you say, defending and then, you know, being very, very technical in terms of approachment to the fight. But when he gets an opportunity to explode, he takes full advantage of it. Like we saw earlier on, he got that head kick into the spin kick into the body, then shot that single leg off it. Very, very explosive movements, but he's able to do it because he's so patient. Gets the big rock here on Broomstick again, but honestly, the defense and just the ability to get on his bike when he needs to is great by Broomstick as he gets a front kick to the face.
Broomstick does a lovely job recovering there, clinching up and just taking a bit of slow. Not Broomstick, Zombie.
Yeah, both guys making excellent adaptations and obviously showing ripples to their game. You know, for both people, it's not like either one is suffering from, you know, complete lack of adversity here. Both guys getting hit by some big shots and finding a way to, you know, change the momentum for the better for themselves. You know, kind of back and forth.
It'd be nice to see. There we go. I was about to say it'd be nice to see Broomstick and leaning and going and circling a bit more instead of just
oh my god, man! He tags him again with that huge power. There was a good point that you raised at the beginning of the fight, man. The power of Figueiredo is very, very large, and when he's able to continue to tag it on the compromised chin of TJ Dillashaw, it can add up to a very, very bad night. But honestly, Broomstick is doing a fantastic job of just kind of being defensive when he absolutely needs to. His defense when he's rocked seems to be at the highest point. Just kind of turns into some supersonic skill sort of thing.
He ducks straight under the punches going for a single leg and landing it cleanly against the side of the cage, which is where you want him in this game. It actually kind of limits a lot of movement.
Yeah, it's he's definitely shown a lot of patience. Even when he got rocked, he basically, you know, he kept calm and just defending himself, and we're just seeing just all that pressure from Broomstick is.
Ooh, lovely block counter.
Yeah, shot selection is absolutely on point, but he manages to miss one right there, and a lovely counter, but the knee to the face sits him down.
Oh man,
Wow. Man.
That's
a hell of a knockout.
Wow.
Boys, that's one hell of a fight. That's one hell of a fight right there. These guys came to throw down. I mean, absolute assortment of different techniques we saw. We saw a little bit of grappling, a little bit of the clinch work, obviously, a little bit of striking, and the need to get the finish with the ragdoll for the win. The fold back. Unlucky to Broomstick. These guys came, though, to throw down. Much respect to both guys. Absolute pleasure calling fights like that, for sure.
It was definitely a beautiful technical fight from start to finish. I almost said brawl, but it was like, even when they were throwing heavily, it was always technical strikes, like amazing combos, 3-4 pieces, even the 1s and 2s landed. It was just very accurate striking from Zombie, and Broomstick has moments as well.
Sure, man. For sure. We've got one hell of a fight lined up for you next. We've got TAT&T. I can barely say the name, bit of a tongue tie for me, up against AJS Walker. Both guys come from great camps. We've just seen Team Chaos perform a little bit earlier on with Omoplata making his debut. Absolutely coming out here and lighting up the octagon. So interesting to see if Tat's coming in with that same heat this evening, because he's up against a dangerous man, against AJS Walker. These guys have been doing great work with people like AJS Scott and so on, able to reach, main event spots within prime time, doing so on the ESFL spots. So Walker's been training with some of the best, and I'm sure he's looking to put his name amongst them, here tonight. So both guys very, very skilled. Both come from very respected camps. We'll have to see how they approach each other as they try to get them, their names up in those rankings.
I do believe his pronounced TK Tattoo, if I'm not mistaken.
TK Tattoo? Okay, that's what I'm going to go for. In fact, that's what his gamer tag is. I like it. Okay. Good stuff.
We're sorted.
I tried to pull information on him, but the Discord server is a bit lagging, so it's just not going up right now.
Oh, lots going on event days, brother, for sure. But these guys touch him up. First round, got Kobe Covington, Jorge Masvidal, knee to the body. Gonna hit him in the
chin's got tied. This seems like apparently we're going for wild shots off the bat. This is a good way to start it.
I mean, honestly, Covington's been saying a lot about Masvidal recently.
Ducking.
So he's coming out there. He's coming out there with that heat. He's trying to back up the words, and right now he gets a single leg or a high crotch, even gets the takedown.
Recover.
You can't be too aggressive into Colby because, I mean, he always has those really fast takedowns, and he has some decent striking for, his style. It's definitely not as strong as most, but he does have some fast hands.
For sure. I mean,
Colby lacks the power, but he makes up with his cardio and speed and his wrestling.
Yeah, right now, though, eating some shots on bottom. Let's not sleep on the grappling offense of one Jorge Masvidal, especially with that ground and pound. He's able to light your face up if you give him any opportunity, as he slices over into top mount, not able to hold it, but still in a very advantageous position with a much, much higher stamina, or at least it was before he started raining these bombs.
I'd like to see them slow down a bit on the ground and pound, pick their shots a bit more, because currently they're just throwing strike after strike, and so it's either getting posted or blocked, and it's just not actually doing any major damage, but he's slowly gassing them out.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, though, I mean, he's done a good job, Walker has, on the ground, even when he was throwing and getting himself gassed. Every time I've looked, we've seen Tattoo being a little bit more on the gas side of it. His stamina's always kind of a little bit lower, and I think it's due to the activity rate. Seeing Walker now get active with the hands, but obviously Tattoo staying composed and trying to fire some back himself.
Yeah, that block is nearly gone at that point, and the head health is slowly trickling down. Walker's just landing extremely accurate shots when he lands. He's just pressuring him into the cage, and that's what you need to do against a wrestler. You got to force them to shoot for a takedown that they miss and capitalize on it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely not where you want to be. I'm surprised he's able to get that get up, but he does, and now he's back to where he obviously is going to favor himself, especially with that Jorge pick. staying a little bit more composed this time, looking to stalk his opponent a little bit with a big overhand to follow.
TK is definitely trying to go for the more wild shots here and just hoping to catch him, followed by the takedown. See a lovely job here by Walker defending the takedown.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd necessarily call them wild. I mean, they're definitely the big shots. You know, he's looking for that one big shot, but he's picking them very, very well. They seem to be timed, you know, looking for when his opponent's dipping and so on. But he's once again been taken down. Even with all of those big shots, I mean, the takedown attempts and the movements of Colby Covington have been massive as well. So his cardio actually looking a little bit worse for the wear coming into the second round. Obviously, he has a high recovery stat, but Haze isn't anything to sleep on either.
Indeed.
No, the beautiful recovery from TK Tattoo, where he got rocked and then he immediately shot for the takedown, and it was just, you know, perfect entry to keep himself in the fight.
I mean, I'm liking the how committed he is to the takedown tattoo. He's doing good work when he's down there and he's able to hold some top position, but not able to keep him there once again. Not able to secure the position, but shoots straight in and gets another one. This time in half guard, a little bit easier to hold this position.
It's just one of the biggest issues of Colby currently is that he's having success getting the takedowns, which is lovely, but it's not, the takedowns won't score you the points. You need to get effective ground control and ground time to be effective with your grappling. Same trust to half guard.
Well, we're just really good defense.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, Walker's defense is on point, right, Honorius?
Yep, like that from him on the ground.
Like I said, those AJS guys, they ain't anything to sleep on, man. They've got phenomenal hands, and their defensive grappling and even their offensive grappling has looked fantastic in all of their fights. They definitely, prefer to strike, which I am all for as a, fan of the striking, but gets rocked standing. You can't sleep on Colby's hands either.
A simple jab strike measures the distance, also does a lot of damage.
Goes to the body, then to the head with a head kick. Colby gets the takedown once again. I mean, that some people may say a little bit of panic wrestling, but it works, right? You get kicked in the head, you shoot a single leg on your opponent and able to take away that momentum.
Yeah, but it's worrisome because if he gets up on the feet, now Colby's Tattoo's gonna have that low head health and he could capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead takes top position by the Masvidal, probably looking, I'll imagine, to get up from this position, but maybe not.
Well, last time he actually held the position for quite a long time. He, I feel like he feels very confident in the exchanges, although he decides to separate, probably just due to the fact that obviously there's a lot of big power that he can land if he does. Look at that uppercut, beautiful work.
Beautiful counter.
Oh, Jesus, but he gets slapped. He gets sat down. Is he going to survive the ground and pound?
That's a back and forth moment. Jesus.
Barely hangs in there.
Made the defense on these guys. Like, that's phenomenal stuff.
Or deny, I'm sorry. I always get those two words mixed up.
Good deny there once again from Jorge Masvidal, able to stop the postured up position, able to get the get up as well, and feeling very confident in the last 10 seconds after a big rock, but obviously got hurt himself. So, I was going to say, yeah, I mean, I almost forgot that it was so quick that just, yeah. Looking at the stats, one knockdown for Tattoo.
I think Colby
did a really good job that round.
Probably took the round just from that knockdown, but it's definitely not a one-sided fight. They're going back and forth. It's
a 1-1, I would say, with the third round. Probably definitely seems to be favouring Masvidal, at least what we saw from the stam at the very end of that round, but could all change with the recovery stats and such.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you've just seen the sign of respect between both guys. They know that this is going to be contender for fight of the night. This is one hell of a war for sure. Definitely one that we need to pencil in and needs to be considered because both guys landing fantastic work at the moment, going big with the shots. Now he's getting a little bit wild, brother. Now he's throwing for the fences.
And he's
on that takedown. Interesting call there, doing that tonight, then going to the full guard. Don't normally see that very often.
Yeah, I mean, If I was TK,
Lovely reversal there.
I would definitely take my time and not throw those big shots with my stamina at that level. I would just basically, you know, take my time, work the jab straights, try to counter, or just hold him down. As we're seeing.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, sometimes the way you play it, especially when you got a low stam and you're grappling someone, it's actually kind of difficult because 1-9 you end up so many issues. I say stuff.
Beautiful crane kick, Karate Kid style.
Lands the knee on the inside, but AJS Scott is undissuaded. He's just marching forward, trying to land some big shots. He knows Jorge's got power. He knows he's got a little bit of speed in the hands. Relying in that block right now and just poking at the defense. Gets the rock.
That uppercut's been landing all fight for both of them. Every time they launch it, it's somebody's getting hit with it.
AJ stayed patient on the feet for a majority of this. Okay, nothing.
I mean, he's going to separate here for sure. I was going to say his cardio is very, very low. Obviously still staying composed though. Still looking for those big shots. I mean, he's doing a good job of mixing them up, which is why he's having so much success with them. But he has, you know, wound up for a lot of the shots, especially from that second round onwards. Would like to make, you know, maybe see him tighten it up a little bit, especially towards the end of the fight. That's good work right there with the jab. But he eats double uppers. Oh my. And he gets sat down again. This is big work for Tattoo. This could even be the deciding factor in the fight. With that
takedown, keep it down. These takedowns are existing, but even then, activity is constantly happening. Either opponents are really stopping to take a break.
I know anytime you feel that you're about to say one guy's getting a little bit of momentum, the other guy just says, no, it's my time, switches it. But I don't know if this top control is going to be enough for Jorge after the big rocks for Covington.
Yeah, he's... Tattoo got the reversal, and then he's just sitting on him again. It's like, if I was Tattoo, I'd just ride out the round. I mean, I've already done enough work.
Both of them are doing lovely in the jobs of...
25 seconds. The way that these guys have been throwing, do not blink. It could still be over in a flash of an eye, but with a takedown, that's a very, very intelligent move. That's probably just secured the round out for him, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think he definitely secured that round with the knockdown and just overall takedowns. But, I mean, overall, it was a very close fight. Both of them had their moments. They were just throwing heavy shots from the beginning. It was crazy to see, honestly.
For sure, brother. I mean, you don't often see guys, you know, willing to go into such a barn burner, especially, you know, especially when they're in kind of good positions now, trying to get a big win. Sometimes you see people fight a little bit more cautiously, especially in the early round, just to kind of get some reads. But these guys said, I don't need reads. I know how I fight. I know my range. I'm coming out. I'm landing these bombs on your chin, brother. I'm landing them.
But Colby takes it. Lovely job by
Yeah, that type of fight, you would definitely not think it would go to decision, but I mean, both are savage competitors, so they did not want to get knocked out, even though they tried as hard as they could to knock each other out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You can see on the numbers the amount of strikes that these guys landed on each other. That's big. That's a big win for Tattoo. Another big win for TK. These guys are 2-2 in their fights this evening. Unfortunate for JS Walker, he put a good account of himself on tonight and looked very, very good. But Tattoo picking up a big, big win and looking very good doing so. That's one hell of a fight, guys. You should both be very, very proud of your performances. I know it was one hell of a fight to call for sure. With that being said, we have more fun fights to come. We are not going to waste any time with it. We have Satchmo Life up against Ben O'Sullivan. Am I right in saying, has Satcho made his debut yet with ourselves?
Yes, he has done. I think he is currently 1-0, looking to make it 2-0. Ben Sullivan is 2-0. So both of them are looking to stick a 1 next to each other's names.
Yes. I mean, we'll have to see who's able to get it in this one. I believe it's going to be a lightweight fight. We'll have to see as these guys shake up right now. They're just weighed in, ready to walk out. You've heard it's just time in the background. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited because, you know, after seeing, you know, Sullivan put that beat down in his I believe it was his debut, right? He played Max Holloway.
I believe so. Well, Simply Benny, Satchmo Life. I know Satchmo Life, I've seen him a little bit active in the Discord. Seen him about the place. He's confident in himself. He's looking to build a name and trying to climb up those rankings. I know he's been busy around the different Xbox communities, or competitive scenes, if you will. Obviously, a good pick, Tony Ferguson, no matter what weight class, really, whether it be lightweight or whether it be welterweight. Eats a bit of a shot on the inside. Got to be careful of the power of Gaethje because, I mean, obviously it's devastating.
Now I see it is Thai Basics. I do remember that fight. It was
Oh.
brutal.
Oh,
Sorry.
So when you get early drop though on the Ferguson, keeping the pressure on the.
The single leg attack from Satchmo was absolutely needed. Intelligent adjustment that he needed right there. Obviously just trying to get the fight down, make an adjustment so that his opponent can continue that marauding style of power that he was just landing on his chin. That's a fantastic denial by Satchmo Life, and now looking to work some ground and pound. The boogeyman is real.
Yeah, fantastic job of defending the backside now on the feet. Probably looking, but yes, a turn takedown from the back into this backside position again. Gets his back taken. Lovely job making sure he doesn't get back flattened instead. Instead, just has to do with the ground and pound defense, which he's done a lovely job at defending there.
This is where Satchmo definitely wants to be. He has somewhat of an advantage, you know, against Benny like Gaethje on the ground. So this, sorry, this is definitely. Let's see, give me a second, Doctor. Take over.
You're all good, brother.
He's done a fantastic job at holding the bottom half guard, making sure that he can't stay active, denying that posture up as well. This Gaethje, although he's staying pretty patient, probably wants to look to the full guard. And I say that he gets a reversal instead, which works just as well. But you've got to be wary of Ferguson's rubber guard here.
I was going to say he was actually a lot more wary of the reversal / submission that was coming to his left-hand side. His stamina was incredibly low, and that was a quick denial. So good work by him, but he has to stay patient. Tony Ferguson is a nightmare on the ground, whether it be in top control, whether it be on bottom. He has the sneakiest of submissions, fast transitions, but right now, Simply Benny is doing a great job of defending.
All there by Benny, making sure that he doesn't get a clinch reversal.
Yeah.
I didn't know Gaethje had one of them.
Ferguson's rubber guard is terrifying for me. I've been reversed so many times when I try to go for the dominant position.
You can deny the rubber guard transition, the side control and top mount transition from rubber guard.
Got to just go pre-deny, but right now he's going for a nice little switch kick to the body. He needs a little bit of that. Obviously continue to work on the gas tank of Simply Benny if he can, trying to make him miss a little bit and so on. But honestly, I don't feel like Benny's playing into it too much. He's staying composed and for the most part landing all of his shots. Lovely leg shot from him right there.
Putting on that pressure, that's three-piece followed by another rear hook at the end. Switching that rear...
Oh, beautiful. Is that a lunging overhand?
It would be a lunging hook. If anything, you can't. I don't believe you can lunge an overhand, but
on a whiff switch kick, you see it here.
Yeah, just an overhand. Just an overhand. Okay, beautiful work.
Like, got in there really fast. I was like, wait a minute, you can do that?
I mean, that's a Gaethje overhand for you, brother. Even when it's slowed down, it kind of looks pretty decently fast right there. But no, it's a snappy overhand for sure. Gaethje hits like a truck. And we saw it early. I mean, he got that early stun, round 2 going, looking to work that leg kick, but that was a very back and forth fight, the tale of two halves.
The Ferguson's wary of that leg kick and switching stance instead, so this maybe put Ferguson's offense a bit more shaky. You don't know how comfortable it could be in Southpaw.
Oh, he goes for the rolling thunder.
It's always good to play.
I ain't going to talk about it, but I got ended with that recently. It was embarrassing. Those things happen. You can't snuff your nose at them. They're dangerous, brother.
Or a cartwheel kick. Oh, those are horrible.
Satchmo's doing a good job of staying composed, but honestly, Simply Benny is just kind of getting very, very active. Even if he misses a shot getting into the pocket, he will take an opportunity to exchange a shot. He'll go blow for blow. Honestly, Satchmo's doing a slightly better job at kind of mitigating the damage, I feel, at this point in the fight. I say that as he eats a 4-piece.
I was say you're gonna even 1 or 2 shots in a trade against a Gaethje, you're still gonna have to be back at the pocket and reset just due to his power. Lovely job there for the denial, controlling the Ferguson even when he goes for a takedown.
Oh, that is massive! Make me eat my words. I honestly was doing it off the stamina, but the head health was not there. He lands two massive shots, man. Sent him launched through the air. Manages to connect with the hook and sends him back to the ground. That's a massive knockout for Simply Benny.
I was just about to say, I mean, he was definitely his game plan. He was working the legs, finding his range, and I thought if he continued with the leg kicks, it would set something up. But I don't know. He didn't even need it. He really didn't even need it at all.
So when you've got bombs like that, my man, they can just send people to sleep on a moment's notice.
It is brutal.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have had phenomenal fights already. We are burning through them. We have many, many more fun fights to come, of course. Up next, we've got the TMF Nap Giver. He's going to be up against Brannon. Going to be one hell of a fun fight. TMF F Camp are, as legit as they come. They've got some savages in there. Obviously, Nap Giver is one of their recent additions. He came into the promotion, I believe, over the last month and a half or so, and has looked fantastic in really, really all of his performances. I believe he's had very, very dominant performances. Seems to favor the grappling a little bit, but definitely well-rounded. And obviously, he's up against Brannon, which has also, I believe, on a 4-1 win streak. I think that's where he's at the moment, if memory serves.
He's 1-1.
1-1? Oh my god. Make me eat my words.
I think he's 1-1, looking to show a bit more of his case. Always good to see.
We've got Rose Namajunas going to be up against...
really slick subs, so I'm excited to see what Brandon's going to do against that. I mean, he does come out of the LFC, so you already know he's going to be a heavy hitter. He's 1-1, like you said. I mean, at the end of the day, PrimeTime has nasty killers, so it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Nunes versus Andros. You could see Nunes, not Nunes. Wow.
Not for sure. I mean, even the champion at some point, the champion Trickzzy, even he was 1-1 at some point when he first joined the promotion. Now he's the champion, I believe, on a ridiculous streak. I think that may be his only loss ever. So, and he avenged that as well. So, yeah, absolute killers, man. We'll have to see how Brandon's able to do, because I remember his name because I remember him doing very, very well. I remember him looking very clean in a couple of his fights, but same can be said for Nap Giver. So, very, very highly anticipated fight, especially this early on in the card.
Both of them trying those kind of wild kicks. A lot of people head movement missing that front kick, but doesn't get the counter off. Working that body, dipping down, and coming up to top and working that block.
That was an amazing combination, for sure. From a Nap Giver, he just landed those beautiful strikes. And what I'm seeing though is like they're content to trade on the feet, and it's working well for Nap Giver so far. But considering they're both using Namajunas and GodAteMyPig, you would think when would it go to the ground? Because that's the deciding factor, I do believe, if Nap Giver takes it to the ground.
Yeah, and he's a very, very strong fighter there, so I think he's probably going to do so, but probably just obviously trying to mix it up, and right now doing a fairly good job of kind of varying his strikes. But quite honestly, Brandon's looking the slicker of the two in the striking. I feel definitely looks to be a little bit more controlled, and in what he's trying to do with some of those head movements and uppercuts. Does miss a big kick there though, and kind of eats a couple of little peppering shots from Nap Giver. Big slip.
In some cases, as a grappler, you do just get sucked into the striking department and then only realise that probably you should grapple maybe coming into the second round. So it could just be that, especially both of them being very competitive on the feet, trading shots and staying correct.
See, my problem, I realized that too late, like when I'm almost knocked out and then I go for the takedown. And we're seeing him in trouble.
Oh my god, mate. Rocked. That was honestly a killer combination. He stayed composed, just absolutely marauding forward.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
That is a big, big win for Brandon right there. Nap Giver is dangerous.
Beautiful knee through the block and just decimating him and just knocking him down.
Yeah, no, honestly, phenomenal work for Brandon. I was not expecting that right there, that early on. I mean, still a very, very game fight for both guys. He gets a big, big finish, and honestly, that's a huge win for that man. I said I rated that giver very, very highly. Brandon's 1-on-1, now go moving to 2-on-1, but over a very, very good name. So with that all being said, though, we have got two other names that within the community, currently unranked, both guys, but are doing work for sure. They are very, very dangerous and game opponents. It's going to be Bone doing work, going to be up against the man of the people, I suppose. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say free Lepo recently, but Lepo out here as well. Going to be one hell of a fight. Interesting to see how it goes down. Got Bantamweight, Dillashaw up against Peter Yan. Always a fun fight in this weight class. Always very, very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm always excited to see Bone doing works fights. I saw a lot of him in the ESFL, and he was just an absolute monster. And then, of course, ICB Lepo, he's no slouch himself. We've definitely seen some crazy fights come out of both gentlemen.
Indeed, they both are prolific primetime fighters. Both of them have got... Bone's got 10+ fights, so has Lepo, so both of them are used to this style of fighting.
Very quick start, little slip counter from Lepo, but the short strikes of Yan were looking good until that takedown attempt, and honestly Lepo's going to be very, very happy with this. 4 minutes 20 on the clock right here. Side control able to be gained, and honestly it's kind of it's withheld. I mean, he's able to secure the position and the crucifix. Now into side saddle.
Just stay patient. That's kind of Lepo's game plan. Did maybe throw a couple shots, but there was very little damage done, so you don't have to do much damage. If you're looking to win the round, this is what you do. You take it slow, you take it steady. Pressure, south, arm triangle, very good sub. So staying close, missing though, annoyingly. Looks like he's going to escape. Maybe Lepos tries to push it to at least the next stage, just so he doesn't get reversed by the Bone, which is here you are. Now past here, he can hold the side control position even if he does fail to get it, which he does.
Yeah, it's just important that you get that, to that second stage there, like you say, so you don't get reversed, and he did a good job of doing so, even though it was very, very close. Honestly, good job from, I believe it's Bone doing work on the bottom there. I was wrong, sorry, it was Lepo on the bottom. Nope, wrong, yep, my bad. Yes.
We all have our days. Definitely mixing up a few for me.
That was a nice little double kick right there from Bone doing work. Tries to go for it again, but Lepo's not having any of it, chopping his own kicks out there.
Bone's focusing a lot on the leg kicks, which is interesting when you're going to Peter Young kick. That's not to say his leg kicks aren't bad. They're not bad at all, but they are definitely helped when you mainly focus on the box and add on the leg kicks.
Definitely Bone doing works. He's definitely trying to keep his range, avoid that takedown. He's peppering him, just, staying patient. And we're seeing a slight stamina disadvantage from, on Bone doing works side, but that doesn't count him out at all. I've seen him with little to no stamina get a huge knockout. Yeah,
I was going to say in the last fight we saw, I mean, he had lower stamina, still manages to find the button and turn his opponent's lights off. Doing a good job is Bone doing work, staying a little bit more defensive at this stage now, trying not to be as active, maybe being a little bit aware of the stamina deficit that he has, but quite honestly, Lepo staying incredibly composed himself, tries to get the double leg bail, trying to push him up against the cage and look to make this dirty, get him a little bit more gassed going into that second round, and try to get a little bit more of a lead as he's able to drag him down to the mat once more. Not enough time to really do anything here with it, but going to be some good top position for him.
He gets the denial though, so he gets full. No, he gets a. He basically goes to his back and then full guard. It's just a good, just good flow state into getting a better defensive position.
Lepo got 2 minutes control time. Yan got the more seamless strikes, so it could go either way there, to be fair. It's a close round. Be interesting to see how it plays out coming to second round. Bones is very much keeping the back line, allowing Lepo to pressure. He's done a lovely job, as you saw, if you were seeing, with flicking the block. So Lepo, so even the straight of the takedown was being kind of defended.
Yeah, it's been a very, very interesting first round. Still all to play for. Both guys have had, things that they got to take massive positives for. We see Dillashaw, Lepo coming in full stamina. I think he's probably got to get a little bit more active in this second round, which it looks like he's aiming to do so, as looks like he's opting to cage cut rather than follow his opponent, which you love to see. Tries to make it a little bit smaller, but honestly, Bone doing work was peppering him in the face, so he opts for the takedown and once again was able to secure it. That's great work for 4 minutes 20 on the clock, my man. Not able to hold it, though. Bone doing work, doing a great job of getting back to his feet.
Yeah, he's just slowly chipping at that stamina, but Bone doing work is landing some good shots right now. So, as I say that, he eats a front kick, but he's still firing back.
I think Lepo needs to go back to cage cutting, and he needs to kind of focus fully on that boxing, because Bone's kicking that leg and is gonna really knock. He's not gonna have fun if that leg keeps getting kicked whilst he's trying to kickbox back.
He's landing some good shots, applying that pressure. Bone doing work. He's not on the back foot. He's just playing very patiently, picking his strikes. And it's definitely a very competitive fight where, as of now, we can't really see any man having an advantage. Whereas if Lepo takes it to the ground, it seems like it's been his advantage there.
Bone doing excellent work on the inside right now. He's finding really, really beautiful shots on the offbeat, kind of on those half moments, but in between shots, he's just finding a great opportunity for that straight or shot. Good takedown once again from Lepo, though. This man, anytime that you feel like Bone doing work is getting a little bit of an advantage in the striking realm, honestly, Lepo just says nope, slams him on his ass, and is able to, even out the momentum of this round. So, honestly, both guys making this incredibly competitive right now.
Lovely fakes by Lepo, getting the reversal back into half guard, but then get transitioned into the full. Both of them knowing that full guard's probably the best place to be, at least on bottom.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight that when Bone doing work was standing up, he had so much control of the range up until Lepo got that takedown. He was just, ducking in and out, landing those beautiful 1-2s, always on his toes. But it's just, if he can't stop those takedowns, I do believe, Lepo is doing great work on the ground, just sapping away that energy. And it's a possibility, he could land that killer shot if he has that huge stamina lead going into the third round.
Yeah, you can sometimes just overwhelm your opponent, but not if you're missing shots like that. That's a big land for Bone doing work, and he's looking very, very crisp with his striking tonight as he opts to circle out and just go to the third round. I'd love to see the stats if they get an opportunity. That would be fantastic, but this has been one hell of a fight, and honestly, it's one of those very, very competitive back and forth fights, like many of them tonight. Everybody's been really, really well matched and have absolutely brought it for sure.
Bone's done a lovely job of working it. Like, we just saw at the very end that was starting to blink, and Lepo knew it, so he switched back to southpaw, and now he's back at it again, just chipping that leg. That leg may be done by the end of this round.
Yeah, and Bone's being very patient. He's just, he's going for the short shots. He's not going, for power shots and draining the stamina and giving him an advantage. He's just biding his time, and every time Lepo's, goes into the pocket, he's just met by a straight or a jab. That's just going to be closely followed by a power shot or a leg kick.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things he's doing that's really, really beautiful, man, is he'll throw a combination, just like a simple one, like a jab straight, and then he'll follow it up with a straight that isn't comboed in, but it's just there to stop his opponent coming back with a combination of his own. And it beautifully interrupts a lot of what Lepo's been trying to do on the feet, and it's why he's had to opt for the grappling so heavily, I believe, because they're fairly evenly matched. It's just that interruption, I think, is giving Lepo a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, Bone's actual striking is, as you were pointing out, it's just that shot after he's finished the combo. He's just allowing Lepo to walk onto it, and so not only it's not doing a massive amount of damage, but after you've had it so over and over again, it's just worked him down.
Yeah, he's just landing the beautiful counter shots every time Lepo comes in the pocket, and he's just making him pay for it. But Lepo comes back with a few shots of his own. And Bone doing work just kind of retreats, gets on his bicycle and just times his shots again.
Well, you made a great point earlier there, Oniros. You obviously mentioned about the cardio going into the third round, and honestly, Lepo's cardio was looking fantastic. It's not as good right now as he's eaten some shots, of course, but
That leg is done.
yeah, he had to switch a little bit earlier on, the end of the second round. That started to flash, and he switched really, really quickly and did a good job of concealing it. But honestly, this work from Bone doing work is very, very good tonight. He's looking crisp on the feet, but he eats a front kick. That's more of what Lepo needs. There's actually still plenty of time for him to get the finish and plenty of stamina to go with it. So Bone doing work has to stay very, very cautious if he's going to go to a victory here.
Yeah, Lepo's definitely needs to stop putting on that pressure. Just trying any last shot, even if it doesn't get a decision. He's just looking for one big shot now.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely trying, man. He's pressuring forward with reckless abandon right now, kind of as he needs to, because he's probably 2 rounds or down in this fight.
Yeah, and that's the pressure he needs.
Oh!
Oh my god, the flying knee follows up with the ground and pound. This could be it with the last couple of seconds to go. 3 seconds on the clock and a big knockout for Bone doing work. Man picks up a big, big W over Lepo this evening.
Yeah, the third round was all him. I mean, he was definitely, I felt like he was winning the fight, but he's being very patient overall. He knew that he had a stamina disadvantage, and he just kept, putting in those leg kicks. So he forced Lepo to be aggressive to avoid, getting kicked. So that's where mistakes happen. You're forced out of your game plan.
For
and
sure.
he just stopped trying to go for the takedown because he realized, like, okay, so I'm probably not going to be able to finish him on the ground, so I need to pressure him because my leg's broken. And it was a good game, but against a veteran like Bone doing work, he can make you pay.
Yeah, and picks up a good, one hell of a W there. Does Bone doing work, like you said, made him pay with it. But it was a very, very good fight. Another fun-ass fight. Obviously, Lepo made it incredibly competitive, got those takedowns, was able to present some real threats, and had Bone doing work, really, really working for it in that third round. But Bone doing work able to get the bigger damage off, and especially in those early rounds, was able to, keep it going throughout the fight. It's a big, big win for that man. He's looking to build himself up in those rankings, and with wins like that, you can start to put together a case for yourself to start fighting up and up, right?
Oh, for sure. That's a definite.
For sure, brother, for sure. With that being said, guys, we've got 2 other savages that are going to be meeting up. We're going to be having Whittaker. Obviously has one hell of a grappling game, been trying to work on his striking as of recently, and he's going to be up against T.O. Soul, which had an excellent debut recently, I believe.
What? Because 1-2's he hasn't got a bad losses though. Whitewolf and TK-Swaggy both previously ranked, both on the rankings even. So maybe lost on his debut, but recently came back with a win against Rara. So both evenly contested on wins and losses.
Yeah, still getting their win, still kind of getting their boots wet, if you will, within the promotion, but know that they're very dangerous. Like, say, Whittaker has been fighting some high-level opponents, and while coming back with a big win over Rara last time, and looked very, very good doing so. And, obviously this isn't the new and improved Rara that's been looking fantastic in recent performances, so picking up that win was very, very big for him. We'll have to see what he's able to do against Whittaker tonight, as Whittaker takes the center, starts marching forward. He is following a little bit rather than cage cutting. That could be a little bit of a problem for him.
I mean, it's definitely an interesting pick against on a taker, a featherweight Poirier. Poirier doesn't have the stats he does in lightweight. It probably still feels the same, but it works nonetheless. Lovely job here, though, by the Ortega backpacking the Poirier already, and now on the ground in back sitting.
Yeah, dangerous position to be in, especially against a game opponent like Whittaker. He's very, very good in these top positions, as he gets an excellent denial off in that top mount. Now going for the submission by the looks of things. He's going to sink this in. I was going to say this is going to be the Gogo Plata, right?
Yeah, he's tracking it though.
Yeah, I mean, it goes up very, very fast though. I mean, obviously you see how big the bar is. The cardio is very, very low for T.O. Soul, and he gets it. That's a big submission for him. He gets him, his opponent low in stamina, opportunistic submission, and Whittaker's picking up a big submission.
Yeah, that's not an easy submission to pull off as well, but he knew what he needed was to basically just drain his stamina and catch him that one time, and it was just an amazing performance because he knew exactly what he needed to do the whole time.
But yeah,
and he with it.
In those top control positions, when you're in one of the more dominant positions, the bar does actually move up faster. So you knew once he got him in those low stamina that was going to be a hard submission to get out of. And Whittaker was all over it for a little bit, wasn't fully tracked in moments, but for the most part was able to do great work and able to squeeze out that submission with relative ease towards the end. Obviously, mainly due to the cardio. I think the stamina, the timing on it was absolutely perfect. With that being said, though, guys, we are absolutely firing through them. We've got the main event of our prelims. These guys are one of the fights that were mentioned earlier on by yourselves here, lads, as, fight to watch out for, and obviously one that I've been highly anticipating as well. We're going to be having Smart Brady up against Bang Bang, you dig? He is an absolute savage. They both are. We've got a Robert Whittaker up against Vito Belford, and this is Vito on the juice. We don't test drugs here.
Go for it.
TRT Vito all day long. This man's coming out here throwing spinning back kicks to the head. That's all you see. Nah, I'm only joking.
And so we've seen how Belfort can be used. Recently, we've missed showcasing the true power of Belfort against, I believe it was Milky Joe. Maybe it was GodAteMyPig.
I think I saw that. Yeah, it was insane. It was
one of them.
Now the challenge faced with Vitor is, it seems to me his chin is very questionable. When someone hits you with one shot, it can automatically.
As you say it,
that. Dark's under though comes back with a hook. You've also got to remember that what makes Whittaker so good is that 98 recovery. It's not actually his chin. His chin's only got a 90 stat.
For sure.
Yeah, and Vitor definitely struggles among basically the chin stat for sure, but he has speed, power, everything else. So if he can avoid getting hit by those big shots, he can definitely possibly win this fight.
For sure.
Probably head movement by Bang Bang, just making sure that even when his block is broken, he's not getting clipped as bad as he would do if he was staying stationary.
Yeah, some people think that obviously that sort of crazy pressure that he puts on his opponents, may not mean that he has the best defense, but he really does work on it. It's not like he's marching forwards recklessly. He's defending himself well, slips off that center line, and does a good job. But Smart Brady's looking to employ a fairly educated game plan tonight. Landed that beautiful shot early, now looking for the wrestling, and this is exactly what you're probably going to want up against a pick like Vito Belford with Bang Bang. But Bang Bang's now on top, and he isn't going to be too opposed to fighting down here. Probably going to rain down some bombs.
This decision, in my opinion.
I'm gonna say, especially with someone like Bang Bang. Bang Bang's got some grappling to rely on, but it just isn't his bread and butter. His bread and butter is this. He'll walk you down, he'll punch you in the face, and he'll hope you end up knocked out by the end of it.
For sure. He does a good... Honestly, he just smothers you. Like, I fought him before. He just marches you down. He cage cuts really well. He's an intelligent pressure fighter, and honestly, one of the better pressure fighters I've kind of ever come across personally. But he eats a big uppercut right there to the face, and looks like Smart Brady is looking to put on one hell of a performance.
One of the biggest issues with fighting Bang Bang is that you don't actually realise you're against a cage until you try to pull back.
The problem is he doesn't give you anywhere to go, man. Where are you meant to step off? This man's on you. He's raining down some bombs with Vito Belford right now. Smart Brady does a good job of defending, but those shots were not exactly good for your health. Going for it, not able to get it. Like I said, Bang Bang, like I said, he's game on the ground himself. He definitely prefers to light you up on the feet as he gets the separation, and then straight back to it with the pullback counter. Good head movement from Smart Brady, though.
I don't know what happened there, but that was an impressive dodge.
What
gets a knockdown, though, coming on in his last 30 seconds, putting on this ground and pound. Gets a reverse into the back sin.
And this could be bad for Bang Bang.
I really didn't know that with the backside post drop going back into the full guard, denying that post drop as well, so he can't do any damage and getting the last second's control time.
Yeah, not enough time, time to really do anything at the end of that right there, but just staying very, very active, kind of jockeying back and forth position. Very, very good first round, but with the big damage that was landed, you've got to imagine that that's Smart Brady's, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I think he landed the extra knockdown, I think. I could be wrong.
I don't know. Obviously, contested round with both of them just trying to look in for that KO.
For sure. In fact, Bang Bang got the knockdown as well, so I may be wrong on the stats. Maybe a little bit more even than I thought. I thought Smart Brady just edged it with one extra knockdown. We don't get an opportunity to see the stats by the looks of things, but all still to play for, and both guys very, very hurt, but still game as ever. You'll see the cardio still looking pretty good coming into the second round.
You say very hurt as we see Whittaker and his blood dripping down his face.
He might be
early on, putting on his pressure again by both opponents.
I gotta highlight one thing. I mean, I've seen so many of Brady's fights, like I said, in other leagues and in SEC and a couple others, and the evolution I've seen, he's definitely improved his game by leaps and bounds.
Oh, lovely work as he catches a lead hook. Bang Bang's continuing to march forward, trying to get the finish, but Smart Brady's answering back with some bombs himself, and just more oh, lovely work. I'm surprised that's not a rock. It is a rock. He goes for the uppercut for the finish. Oh, Jesus.
Finishes him. The power of Belfort on that 90 chin. You don't want to get hit by it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Bang Bang hurt several times, and he just comes back and just powers through it and just knocks Smart Brady out.
Just know, Bang Bang's got hands, my man. Bang Bang's got hands. He's coming to turn your lights out. Catches a beautiful uppercut right there. Sits Smart Brady down. Not his night tonight. He looked very good though. Obviously able to get a number of good hands off himself. Able to make some good adjustments. But Bang Bang's a problem, man. He's gonna march forward, and it only takes a couple to find the button with the way he plays the fight for him to be able to get the finish. He just smells blood when he gets it and just goes in for it every single time. It's not even reckless abandon. There's madness to his method. He just kind of loves the pressure game and forces you to make some mistakes.
Let's just say it out loud. Bang Bang has the best defense when he's blocking with his face.
No, for sure. Bro, he moves his head. He gets off that center line. Honestly, like, underrated defense, and his pressure game is scary good. I'm interested to see where this goes.
I honestly think that Bang Bang's best defense is punching him in the face. It's not taking shots. It's giving shots.
No, for sure, man. He doesn't give you an opportunity to breathe. He forces you to make defensive mistakes and catches you on on them. And it's a fantastic, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Honestly, the pressure, you don't see many fight with that sort of non-stop pressure that he does. So entertaining as hell to call.
Mike Mist and Podgy are probably the closest in style, but I think Bang Bang has kind of perfected it, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, you see Tadpole and so on having that heavy pressure style as well. I mean, there's absolute savages that definitely have it, but little variations, but one hell of a fight to call the prelims to a close. We move on to our main card, but if you haven't already and you're enjoying these fights so far, make sure to follow the league, guys. We obviously do these things every single Saturday, every single Monday, 2:30 Eastern each and every time. Maybe moving that slightly later in the future, but right now 2:30 Eastern going forward. You can follow us on Twitter, join the Discord. I'm sure one of the guys will be able to link you in the chat. Get involved yourself. Currently we're Xbox, doing mainly Xbox, but PlayStation events in the very, very near future. Just building the rosters, so make sure to get involved if you haven't already. With that being said, we've got another fun fight to go. First fight on the main card of the event. Going to be having LFC Swish up against TK Mike Tran. The Mike Train is here to try and pick up another W, but he's in against it up against LFC Swish Bity. Swish Bity is a dangerous opponent and from a very, very good camp as well. So we'll have to see how these guys shake up. Have you ever fought them yourselves, guys? Any inside knowledge on either opponent?
Well, I was looking over it, and Swish, I mean, he's definitely...
You got a win over Swish, Luna.
Yeah, it was one of my more recent fights. He was, like I said, he was a really, really tough fight. I was able to get the W that night, but quite honestly, it was a nerve-wracking experience. I knew that he was going to be incredibly game and a tough opponent. I'm not too familiar with Mike Tran though myself. I haven't come up against him personally. I don't think, maybe just once in passing, but he looks to be very, very dangerous. Like I said, his name is Mike Tran. We say Mike Train. We're all about the Mike Train, man. This guy's got hands for sure.
Well, what stands out to me,
so probably a striker more.
what stands out to me is Swish beat Killer Jake, and that's definitely a huge win because Killer Jake is a killer, to be honest.
For sure.
He's got great.
Well, they're starting pretty quick.
Heavy-handed in the beginning.
No, it's an interesting pick.
Oh, that's a good call by the Woodley.
I was going to say, it was an interesting pick with Tyron Woodley. You beat me to it for sure. Like, it really, really is. I mean, I've been using him recently. I think he's an underrated pick. People think he's not got cardio and so on, but he's got hands for days and power to boot. He can really, really land some shots on you, and with the offensive wrestling that he has, he's a problem in all dimensions. We see Switch Bity. Yeah, no, honestly, we see Swish Bity doing some great work on the ground, and this is why I thought he was so much of a problem when I was coming up against fighting him. Watched a little bit of tape on him and knew that he was an incredible threat on the floor, so was very, very worried about that. But good job on Masvidal getting back to his feet earlier, though. He has got to be careful about the power of Swish Bity with Tyron Woodley. Jesus, man.
On the mention of the cardio you were talking about with Woodley, if you grapple, if you have if you have a heavy grapple first round, maybe round 1, round 2, you are very much focused on your grappling and you play it carefully, you can make sure that cardio doesn't go very low.
For sure.
But
we're
definitely seeing a very balanced approach from Swish. He's working his combos, and then as soon as he sees an opening, he goes for the takedown, but he's not forcing the takedown.
Mike Trans, oh man, he's got to be careful. He's eating some bombs from Swish Bity, and Swish Bity's looking on fire tonight. He's got 3 rounds in the box almost, and landed a couple of stuns, able to get some good takedowns, and honestly doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon. Even though Mike Tran doesn't look like he's giving up on it, he doesn't look dissuaded, he's eating a lot of shots and definitely needs some adjustments soon.
Swish has done a lovely job just backing him at the pocket, coming in, throwing 1-2 shots, making Mike Tran be aggressive, and then coming back and being very explosive. We saw with the stun and the knockdown earlier.
Yeah, I think Mike Tran needs to apply more pressure, like he basically did right there, and just force him to shoot and miss that takedown. And he just needs to basically maybe cut the cage off and push him up against. And he's just getting...
You are right there, Wanrios, but the problem is with it, that sometimes you're going to walk into the power of Tyron Woodley and it sits you down. He's got good defense on the ground, but honestly, that power of Swish Bity, the precision of the shots and just all-round shot selection has been on point so far in this first fight. Minimal mistakes from that man and looking incredible, in this fight. I'm sure he's just trying to bounce back with a big win.
Good reading of the transition again, and he's just kind of Woodley's probably just taking it slow. He's got 2 knockdowns and a couple of stuns on his belt with some couple, I imagine, a lot of significant strikes. So it's probably Woodley's round.
Yeah, 3 stuns, 2 knockdowns, 28 significant strikes to 16. And I didn't catch the total strikes, but one hell of a start for Tyron Woodley. And this is not the Tyron Woodley that's gun shy. He's out here to take your head home with him, trying to mount it on his mantelpiece.
Had about 50 strikes, and Woodley has about 80.
Yeah, I mean, crazy numbers from Tyron Woodley, but once again, both guys are very, very dangerous. So that's all momentum so far, Swish Bity, and he's looking to maintain that in the second round and doing a great job at doing so. Mike Tran's dangerous himself, but he's eating bombs, and there's only so much you can take.
Oh, that was effective. He knew how to use Woodley and used his power fantastically through the course of that fight.
A big, big win for Swish Bity. He looked incredible tonight. That's why that man's dangerous. That's why I was terrified of this man, to be honest with you. I was worried going into that first round. I mean, he's a dangerous, dangerous opponent. LFC Swish B. I'm telling you, he's a problem. Look out for this man coming forward.
And like we said originally, LFC just gets nothing but killers. So I'm excited to see, many more of their members come through maybe and see them in primetime eventually.
Yeah, for sure. They've been doing great work as of recently. Obviously a newer camp to Primetime, been around for a couple of months now, but they've been putting an excellent body of work together and putting excellent performances on accounts for the gym all around, making them looking very, very good. And this was one of those performances. Unfortunate for TK Mike Tran. Like I said, the Mike train is still going. Choo choo, motherfuckers. But he, no, for sure though, for sure. It's not his night tonight. He got caught by an absolute tornado that was just ripping through in Swish Bity, and what wasn't his time, but one hell of a fun fight. And
fantastic job, to be fair. That was just a very good performance. He controlled the fight. He used that power and then he even took it down. It was a matter of Mike Tran kind of just got out skilled, and sometimes that's just the way it is.
Yeah, so sometimes it's just not your night, and like whether he needs to work on some things, whether or not he just didn't, it just wasn't his fight. We don't know, but he looked good. He just, like, in the moments that he had success, but quite honestly, Swish Bity, when he got that early success, he was just able to maintain that for the entire fight. With that all being said though, guys, we have got one hell of a fight up next. We're going to be having EK Slick up against Tadpole. I believe these guys are both using their calves. They're going to be making some fun ass fight for us. We've got Rod Tang turning up, and I think we got Boyka. Yes, we've got Boyka against Rod Tang. I mean, how can you not love this?
Slick's been working on his striking. He's been getting there, getting forward, just getting that striking up to where his grappling was back all the way since he started.
Sure, for sure. Now we know that Tadpole's incredibly fast starting. He flicks him off. He's not here to be his friend. He's going to try and kick your face off, but so is EK Slick. He's been showing excellent advancements in the striking, but quite honestly, that's Tadpole's game, so you've got to think that Tadpole's probably the slight favorite if this fight stays in the striking domain.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get into his head early, for sure. I
mean, I do say that, but Slick right now landing some beautiful shots on the inside, a couple of hooks and so on, able to get some early damage off on Boyka, and that's not what you want, but a beautiful pullback from Boyka. Slick doing it, a couple of taunts, these guys throwing down with reckless abandon. I love it. I love it. The show is on.
Already.
Oh, Jesus.
Lovely uppercut counter there.
Slick's looking very, very confident tonight. He's got, obviously, trains with some of the best about, joining EK recently. The merger between the BFAP and EK gym already had, the excellent striker and Trickzzy and a few others, obviously, within the gym that have some hands, but always known more as a grappler. But his striking coming absolute leaps and bounds, man, honestly.
Both of them are just going at it, making a pullback and just doing short, quick punches, stopping, faking. It's just beautiful to see.
They're basically telling each other to just stand on the pocket and just trade.
That's the thing. Normally, I would say that favors Tadpole, but I honestly feels like because he's a little bit more of a well-rounded striker, he maybe wants to play the outside game here against Slick and see if he can start to get him a little gassed out. Still 2 minutes 20 on the clock. These guys, very, very dangerous. Slight stamina advantage to Tadpole as he rips to the body, but Slick has obviously got the head health of Boyka already down a little bit. Another beautiful switch to the body.
There definitely, it seems like there's some bad blood between these two for
Oh
sure.
my god, there it was, and the finger afterwards.
Oh man, he gives him the finger afterwards. That's insult to injury right there.
Look at your face now. That's one. That's the one, brother. Like for sure. Got to be careful here. Slick is not out of the woods yet by any march, but he's recomposed himself, able to recover his head health, and now obviously just happy to take that center of the cage and try to have that ring generalmanship. I can't say it. Words are out today. Fuck you. I'm joking.
They really are.
Is it? Just one of those nights, but honestly, these guys going crazy, doing fantastic work, the spin to the body.
As you were mentioning earlier, Tadpole probably being the favourite striker in the pocket, but Colts definitely seems like he's more comfortable with this, with Tadpole taking the outside approach, but even then being a bit more unsteady than we've seen him in the past.
Like, honestly, I think if we hadn't known Slick for the last 3+ years and known his style, if you were just to base it off this fight alone, you would think that this man's just a striker. You'd think that he's a pure striker. He's doing phenomenal work in the striking.
You really would.
Yeah, exactly.
It's impressive to
because you know, we have a lot of preconceptions, especially, you know, like we said, it's not that he's ever been bad in the striking realm, it's just that grappling such his, you know, his dominant art. But he's looking really, really good in the striking, and I actually fought him recently and experienced it myself. He's definitely making adjustments. But with all of that being said, honestly, Tadpole is one of the most dangerous people in the league. He has the ability to switch your lights off, always finds a way to do it. Although he's eating a lot of shots right now, you've got to be very, very careful with his pull counters and his ability to close the show once he's got you hurt.
I mentioned the pull counters. You realised it's either Colt's very quickly recovering from when he's about to get countered. I say this and he gets dropped instantly. Jesus.
With just 2 body kicks well placed, and that's the thing, is like, not to harp on the movie, but I mean, your boy has just no kicks.
Boyka just eats a shot though. He's got to be careful. Obviously, you know, Rodtang's an absolute savage, especially looks like in the hands of Slick Colt.
Just taking shots on the chin, just throwing them back instantly.
And this is one of the fights that I would say, you know, don't even look at the advantage at all, because they're just rolling.
It's just a fight.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if this goes past the next 2 minutes or so, then Boyka's going to be in a much better position stamina-wise, but head health is becoming a serious problem. Slick Colt, stamina's definitely burning, but it doesn't really matter if he continues to land on the chin.
Colt is just throwing shots. He's just looking for that one key shot, and it doesn't really matter about Sam. And I can't say that it's really not benefiting me.
I honestly don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think Slick's actually doing a great job of varying his shots, throwing 1-2s out there, and just kind of mixing it up. I feel like he's popping at him, but a lovely counter by Boyka. The spin to the body, goes back to it with the lead hook. He's now flopped to the ground. He doesn't look like he wants to follow it. Looks like these guys have a striking-only unofficial gentleman's agreement.
I'm against the idea.
Agreement, considering it looks like they don't even like each other.
Well, you got to think about it. I mean, it's their picks as well. They picked Rodtang and Boyka. These guys are strikers for sure. Rodtang's got that beautiful Muay Thai. Love to see it. Absolutely phenomenal record. And obviously Boyka needs to be the greatest, so going to try and fly out there with some flashy shit, as always.
Slick a bit wary since that body wobble. He's now just walking him down to just constantly throwing shots. He's more just looking at that one big shot as Tadpole goes to find an opening as he gets pressured.
Oh, lovely lead hook again from him. He goes to the ground. Definitely no agreement. Slick's following up. Good blocks there from Boyka. Tadpole doing a fantastic job, but it's going to be hard to get the reversal, even with the stamina being so low of Slick. He's phenomenal on the ground and able to get denials off, with absolute pinpoint precision.
Oh, this is dangerous. Oh, he barely survives that. I think one more strike and it could have been over. This is definitely, it's not a one-sided fight, but I do believe, Tadpole has the advantage so far, stamina-wise and just overall just knockdown. Well, I mean, I would not knockdown.
Yeah, I was going to say, back and forth, it's kind of a lot of knockdowns for Slick Colt. He's had a lot of knockdowns in this, but like you say, the stamina is definitely in Tadpole's favor, so if he can mitigate the damage that's going to come his way over the next 4 minutes and start to, he's got the stamina to throw some sort of death combination should he rock the chin of Slick.
But that's the thing. You see the head health.
Oh, that might be it right there. Head health is all done. Oh Jesus! Slick Colt picks up another big W, man. That's over a dangerous Tadpole. One hell of a fight. Those guys were throwing bombs. The technique on display from their striking was phenomenal. Slick Colt able to get Rodtang a victory within prime time. You love to see it. Those are some great calves, guys. I have to say. Excellent modeling on them, and a fantastic performance from both guys. It was one hell of an entertaining war to call.
Oh yeah, that was an amazing fight, for sure.
Well, up next, guys, we got another fun fight. Honestly, it's a fight that we didn't mention it earlier, to be honest with you, just because we had so many killers lined up, but low-key, a very, very good fight. We've got TD Jamie. Suave Jamie obviously making his debut in primetime. We know him back in the IFL days. I haven't seen him for a little while. Obviously, he's been doing great work on the scene, able to pick up a lot of titles within, obviously the SFL. Doing fantastic work and a very, very dangerous all-round opponent. He's up against Chinsworth, the Law himself. the man that is a problem from everybody. He's a bit of a boogeyman, bit of a giant killer, so we'll have to see how these guys match up. Looks like Suave Jamie has a little bit of an advantage over him in previous matches, probably in rank though, and we all know that that doesn't really kind of count under these event kind of situations. The stakes are a little bit different and a little bit of a different pressure setting, but I'm sure Suave Jamie is very, very used to that, obviously competing, and we all know that Chinsworth is, considering that he has been in and around Primetime, obviously supporting the league and fighting actively, and many other leagues to boot with it. These guys touch it up and starting quick with a little 1-2 for Chins.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my most, like, I wanted to see this fight really badly because Suave Jamie, phenomenal competitor, and Chinsworth, he's just got that amazing striking that we all love to see. So definitely an interesting fight. It should be a brawl. It should definitely be, well, I wouldn't say brawl, but definitely great technical striking.
Yeah, we're seeing feints on the outside right now. Looks like Chinsworth trying to chop up that leg a little bit. Jamie's been doing a great job of mixing up shots to the body, whether it be teeps or mixing in like a lead hook into a straight to the body, something down those lines. That traditional pullback counter that we're used to seeing for Jamie. Looking to rip some combinations off as well, but got to be careful, especially up against Yoel Ramiro, because we know that man's got some hands.
Indeed, he's got the power. He lacks a bit on the cardio scale. If he wants to take it down, he can do, but I doubt Quids will do it, especially he's not such a high-level grappler like Jamie. He's just
those are some big shots.
Dropped.
Wow. What a knockdown. He just immediately goes prone, and he barely survives that.
Yeah, I mean, the defense of Chins is very, very strong, so he's able to defend that, able to defend the crucifix as well, but Suave Jamie is all over him in the early setting, able to get that knockdown, and now obviously in a very, very good position, table in that top control. Decides to separate, obviously feels confident enough in his hands, and you can't really blame him after a big knockdown, but maybe something that he may regret. I mean, Chins is very, very dangerous in the striking himself, all-round fighter, but I say that his striking's definitely his best domain.
Dude, taking it slow, both of them just looking for maybe an opening. Guess clipped on the uppercut, but Jamie dodging his head around the side, looking for a lead slip hook.
Jamie's head movement is amazing. Every time Chinsworth tries to come in, he just ducks out of the way and just lands a clean shot, just not letting Chinsworth just work his own game at all.
No, I mean, that was a good kick by him, but it was a little bit inside of distance, so he's got to be a little bit careful of it, especially with how sharp Jamie's looking when he's trying to rip to the bodies. I imagine we're going to see Chins look for that uppercut on some of the entries from Suave Jamie right now, but he's doing a good job of mixing it up, so the timing of it's going to be difficult.
Jamie's just like shooting the straights, and just it's not even to do much damage. It's just to go, I'm still here. He's just peppering it. Nearly misses an overhand there by Chins. Narrowly ended and
Yeah, Chins is one of those guys though. He's very, very momentum based, so he needs to catch a rhythm. But obviously Jamie doing a great job of pulling off again and ripping to the body on the finish. That's one hell of a way to end a round, and one in the box for Jamie by the looks of things, making his debut. Obviously high up in the card because we know how dangerous he is, up against a tough opponent in Quidsworth, but right now doing great work and able to land the successive shots to get the knockdown, and obviously that late rock at the end of the round also. Honestly,
amazing body work from what I've seen so far. He's just non-stop peppering the body every time he tries to come in, landing the cleaner shots overall.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of it. Obviously mixing it up to the head as well, kind of trying to poke at his opponent, using the jab intelligently. But obviously the mix-ups to the bodies are really where it's been at. Lovely little lunging hook attempt from Quidsworth, not able to get anything though. The defense obviously very, very high, keeps his guard up, does Jamie.
Staying in the pocket, coming in and out, just looking for those 1-2 single shots. Lovely there, coming up with the ducking round toss.
Yeah, he's looking dangerous as ever tonight, is obviously Jamie. He obviously has respect for Chinsworth. He's not going reckless when he gets the rock. You're obviously not trying to just overwhelm him with nothing. Staying technical, keeping at the body a number of times, looking for the face after it, but good block so far. Oh, there he goes. He gets a knock of himself, or a rock of his own. Now trying to pressure forward, throwing all of his stamina. Nothing to do, though, because Jamie's got it, able to recover and now trying to answer back. That's a big elbow for that man right there. Oh, mate, these guys are going back and forth.
You know, Jamie's just applying that pressure, and Chinsworth is answering back, but is definitely Suave Jamie now as a stamina lead. But as when I say that, it's like we just saw the last fight and it didn't even matter. So at this point, it's like I wouldn't even watch the stamina at times. But it's just impressive body work so far, over and over again.
No, for sure, and he goes to it again with that body kick, and that was beautiful. Definitely going to have to come back at some point and watch some of these combinations. He's got them in the wheelhouse. Jamie's combinations definitely high level, but he eats a big shot there from Yoel Romero, and Chinsworth is trying to go for the finish. Don't know if the stamina's there for him as he eats a front kick, though. Now Jamie's trying to get one of his own, rip into the body.
And a lead front kick. Quids is very much on the back foot. He's probably looking for that last one big shot, which he can get, especially with someone with Romero's power. It's just finding the opening.
It's just, in those scenarios, it's a scary moment when you get rocked to the body and the head, and you don't know where to block, where your opponent's going to attack from. You have to make your reads as quick as you can, and that's the dangerous part. It's very hard to make those reads on the fly.
No, for sure. Jamie decides to separate it again. Obviously doesn't want any of the ground. He's looking to make a statement with his striking tonight. Feinting to the body, eats an uppercut there. He's got to be careful of it. 40 seconds, but throws out the front kick and sits him down again. This is obviously hard for Chins at this point. His stamina is very low. Head health is continuously blinking. You know, obviously you need something big, but it's going to be very, very difficult when you're in this sort of position.
Yeah, Suave's just being very patient. He's taking his time. He's just keeping his range with those kicks to the body, just forcing him back. It's a very technical fight we're seeing from Suave. Just a perfect performance right now. Yes, he did get hurt a couple of times, but overall he's basically just landing all the cleaner shots and just being very patient.
For sure, man, for sure. And I mean, obviously it's paying dividends for him. He's been able to land some good shots, but not getting overzealous with it, not marching forward and just trying to overwhelm Quidsworth, you know, with reckless abandon, is one of the reasons he's such a high-level fighter. You know, he knows how to stay composed in these positions. He's not going to throw it away, or try not to at least. Obviously, Chinsworth is very, very crafty, though, and he, you know, fights with some of the best. So, for sure, he's incredibly dangerous, and especially with that Yoel Romero pick and the power that's available, if he connects with one big shot, it could obviously turn off Jamie's lights. So, he's going to have to stay composed if he wants to, you know, coast through the next 4 minutes or potentially go for the finish.
Both of them... Quids uncertain of when to throw. He's trying to look for an opening, he just can't seem to do it. Especially with how low stam is, it also makes it difficult. Jamie's in a lot better position because of the stam as well.
Oh, the body shot again. I mean, obviously the work has been fantastic. He goes to the lead deep to the face. Still got plenty of stamina and is marching forward, trying to get it. He lands a beautiful slip elbow into a knee, catches him and is ripping down some ground and pound to finish. Good defense by Chins, though.
Yeah, again, you see that knee on belly defense. Chins has definitely got it down stat.
Yeah, the recovery was excellent. I mean, just stay composed and block those shots. You know, you've got to have your wits about you, even in the most dire of situations, as he's hurt and rocked, gassed, and still trying to look for an opportunity to get a finish. As game as they come is Chinsworth, not ready to give up. Still knows there's 2 minutes 40 on the clock, and you know, he's got that finisher's instinct, so he's going to try and pull it back, but uphill struggle for him as Jamie's looking for the finish. Gets the body rock himself, marching forward, trying to get that head kick.
Chins controlling the fight. I think the only game here for Quids is to just wait for the next 10 minutes and just try to survive it, but it's becoming difficult with Jamie.
Oh, mate, the body shot, the head rip afterwards. the low stamina. It sits him down, made the ragdoll animation pretty brutal. Nothing to be ashamed of course, if you're Quidsworth. He came out against one of the best within the community tonight and put on a game fight. But as the course of that 3 minutes went on, of course, Suave Jamie just started to get more and more of a chip lead against him. Didn't look to land anything massive, just, you know, composed little shots, and over the time they added up until he landed that roaring combination to send him to the mat.
And that just proves to me there's levels to this. It's like, normally when you get someone hurt that bad, you just chase the finish, but he just stayed composed the entire time.
Yeah, you know, those things, they happen, of course. Like I said, Chins will take the lessons from that, I'm sure, and make adjustments to his game as a result. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way, and tonight was definitely Suave Jamie's night. One of the best, obviously, in the community, trying to make a bit of a run on Primetime by the looks of things, making his debut tonight, looking good, doing so against a tough opponent. So interesting to see where he goes from here, where his next matchup will be, and obviously interesting to see where Chinsworth comes back from, because a motivated Chinsworth is a dangerous Chinsworth for sure.
Bald Chinsworth.
Well, obviously we've got another fantastic fight ahead of us. We're going to be having Love for MMA up against AJS Puganaut. Puganaut is an absolute savage, training out of a very dangerous camp, been doing great work. And obviously Love for MMA has been doing fantastic work of his own. I believe he's on a nice little winning streak right now within the promotion. I know.
Streak is 5-1. He lost his debut, but then came back and just went straight to competition.
Yeah, and I mean, he's fighting this Wednesday on the Primetime event as well, I believe, and you know, has a spot tonight as well, trying to put a statement out there. In fact, I believe AJS the Pug is as well, so these guys are going to be fighting on the SFL event on Wednesday. They get to match up against each other this evening, though, and definitely going to make one hell of a fight. Both very dangerous, both been doing very well, especially as of recently for AJS Pug, putting together a nice little win streak.
Indeed, both of them starting to, again, we've seen another Dillashaw pick and a Peter Yan pick, so both of them easily contested in the striking. Lovely slip straight there.
Just sets him down, and now he's on the back foot. But he's still deciding to stay in the pocket, and I don't know if that's a wise decision against Peter Yan, especially now that he has force of nature.
Good little peppering shots from AJS the Pug, and he did a good job of entering on that takedown, bailing on it, getting the push up against the cage, and able to hit a couple of shots before the separation. The more he's able to do this against TJ Dillashaw, the more he's able to chip away at the health and stamina of his opponent, the better it's going to be for him, over the course of the fight. But at a number of big headshots that we saw his head flashing, so obviously dangerous Dillashaw against him.
Attempts to pre-deny turn takedown, gets the body lock trip, and now going to full guard. Faking quite heavily, it's very aggressive on the faking, but just does the posture up to reset the timer so he has a bit more time to work. Both of them trying to build the GA, just rabbit punching. I think was the term a lot of people have used.
Yeah, he does a good job, tries to rip to the body, but obviously only that one shot, doesn't want to get too wild and be reversed. Still 2 minutes on the clock and plenty of time to work. Obviously got AJS Pug using the Peter Yan, so he's in top position right now, full guard, raining down the shots a little bit more actively the second time around. Love for MMA though, staying composed, working those little shots, trying to get a bit of GA, maybe trying to work his way back to his feet up against that cage in a moment.
It should be on note that the Peter Yan actually isn't getting any control time here, so it's a stalemate currently.
What, you don't get control time in full guard? What?
No, you don't get control time in full guard.
Really?
It's why it's such a good position to hold. Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, that doesn't sound right, I'll be honest. I'll have to check it out, but that's madness if that's true.
I've been losing decisions like that. Because I love ground and pound. I guess if I'm in full guard, it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, like the sub times are a very major part. So even on bottom, you can lace up a couple of subs in the last minute of the match. You can normally get a lot of control time, as you can see here.
Yeah.
And this is a good position to actually get a submission from. It doesn't look like he's going to get it this time, but the first submissions, as we know, are obviously the opportunity to try and make reads on your opponent and the way that they react to certain situations and certain types of pressure. So Interested to see if he's going to try and go for that a little bit later on in the fight, but competitive first round and still lots to play for. Both fairly high-level guys here putting together high-level performances, so interesting to see how these guys shake out tonight for sure.
Lovely strike there we see from beginning round.
Yeah, great fight from both gentlemen. It's been a great night of fights, and we have more to come in UFC. I'm so excited. Just pleasure to be guys to open up for sure.
Yeah, no, honestly, pleasure to have you here, brother. We have crazy fights ahead of us. Still got our co-main event and our main event to go. Obviously, this is kind of our featured fight of the main card, if you will, before we move on to them. These guys have got a prominent position within the card for a reason. Obviously, got those skills with the hands. Got the grappling to back it up as well as we go for a lovely pull slip, but not able to actually connect on the strike. Lovely head kick. Dillashaw's trying to rip off those bombs tonight.
Driving takedown into the front, taking the backside position. Now again, we see this full guard. I would like to see the PTM get out of this full guard just to have a bit more aggressive ground pound, if anything. See a lovely deny on both sides.
Yeah, that was a smart move from AJ's. He's like, he took that head kick on the chin and then decided to immediately shoot for the takedown, rather than risk any more unnecessary damage.
I mean, honestly, both guys looking very, very dangerous, and I'm just seeing like little things where they're throwing sneaky little uppercuts or, you know, lovely straights like that just plant on your opponent so beautifully and sit them down. I mean, this may even be it. That's the final shot to finish up the fight. Love for MMA picking up a brilliant W. My man was looking good tonight.
So they're both looking good. I was definitely in the way of Pity and holding it, but instead he comes back and shows that he's still the better fighter in some cases.
That goes to show, you know, you make one small mistake, you know, throwing that head kick right in front, anybody can capitalize it and just end your night.
Oh, sure, for sure. You know, at a moment's notice, your lights can be turned off, and that can be all she wrote. But, guys, we are moving closer to that time we all came here for, the main event of the evening, EK Trickzzy, EK DirtyDave. Before we do so, though, we have one hell of a co-main event for you. Two ICB Savages matching up. We're going to be having ICB Reaper up against ICB Honest Jim. I mean, if you don't know who these guys are, you're about to. Absolute killers, and I for one, cannot wait to see it.
Reaper's a heavy striker, has the grappling on bottom, has grappling on top. Jim has been around since UFC 3, they both have, to be fair, but Jim's got the grappling galore. He will hold you down, he will grind you to a decision if needed. He's all about that grappling. He's got the striking, takes it slow, looks those shots, and Pedro is Jim's pick. Always has been. It's lovely to see.
I mean, it kind of goes with his style, the ability to mix it up. He's probably going to, you know, go crazy with the hands on the pressure and then obviously mix in the takedowns. Has a very Colby Covington-style approach in previous performances, at least. Looks a little bit more measured in this first round, but probably just out of pure respect for ICB Reaper. He knows how dangerous he is, coming from the same camp, of course.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Honest Jim's fights, and I've seen a lot of dominant ground from him. And now, the key to this is probably just, you know, staying out of that range and peppering the block and just possibly shooting for the takedown when he least expects it or capitalize on a miss. But, as I say that, he just goes for the judo throw.
Yeah, and this is where he is, you know, the most dangerous once he gets you into these sorts of positions. Even if he's not able to hold you down, he's already initiated the grappling now, and it's part of his repertoire. But great get-up from Reaper. I was very surprised that he didn't get that, potentially going for a pre-deny Honest Jim and getting caught out a little bit, but straight back to it and not wasting any time getting active with their hands.
I'm a little trading in the pocket. You got to be wary of trading with Pedro with a 97 chin. It's just a risky move indeed.
Yeah, but they're giving each other the God, and he gets a huge knockdown on Reaper, and this spells trouble. But like you said, Pedro has the advantage with the 97 chin, so he can just stay in that pocket and just throw.
For sure, he's definitely got to be careful though. Peter Yan hits like a truck, so any sort of wrong kind of zigs when he should have been zagging sort of moments. Could send you to an early night out, but so far Honest Jim looking very, very good, although he is a little bit cut, obviously wearing a little bit of damage, although we cannot see his stats.
We've seen Jim majorly focus on the boxing, but you've got to remember that Pedro has got a 5-star calf and leg kick, so it'd be nice to see if he could just put a smuttering of them about his place, just make him a bit more threat. As I said, that he misses a head kick and has a counter lead hook thrown in his face.
Yeah, it's surprising to see Reaper using the leg kicks rather than Jim, because like you said, he has those really nice leg kicks and he's just not really going for them. I'd like to see him use that. It would definitely set up a lot of his, you know, strikes and possibly takedowns, but so far he's doing quite well regardless.
Taking it slow. Jim's got the back take. He probably look for the top mount, but he probably just wants to, instead goes to the back and go for the safer bet. He's got 30 more seconds left on the clock. We'll win with the knockdown. He's probably secured this round quite nicely. He's just taking it now. Takes top mount, so just a bit of added damage to the end of the round.
Yeah, he's definitely smothering Yan on the ground, and I mean, from what I can tell, you would think Yan would have the better ground, but
Pedro has got rubber guard. He's got an impeccable ground game. He can wrestle. He's got the VOJ to also state, so he's actually the better grappler out of the two of them.
Used him, so I wasn't sure how good his ground game was.
Yeah, Pete Yan's got the more meta style of boxing where you can pressure, you can focus. Pedro is more the off-meta pick, but still semi-meta because the hands, the chin, the rubber guard, and just the boxing itself. Whilst Yan has got his beat trip as well. So
you start seeing on his gym, it's like he heard us. He's starting to work those leg kicks, and as we say it, it sets up a takedown perfectly.
Honestly, a very competitive, very, very competitive fight so far. This could have easily been the main event of another evening, but these guys, two of ICB's best, putting on one hell of a fight so far. Honest Jim is doing great at riding out these top positions. We know he's incredibly dangerous in them. Once he's got you down in them, you know, as I mentioned in the first round, it can be hard to get that full separation. It's kind of like glue, man. He just sticks to you.
He really does. He just doesn't let off. He's just looking just to hold you down, hold you there, maybe work a bit. If he doesn't get the damage, he's not really bothered. He'll find the damage in other ways. I wouldn't know there. He
works a lot of the short shots. You know, he definitely goes position over submission, position over you know, shots, but it's not that he isn't adverse to it. He postures up right now, as you see, rains down a couple of shots, but it's, you know, educated. He's not willing to gas himself. He's not going to jeopardize the rest of the round and, you know, the separation. You'll see him get a lot more active towards the end of the round, but so far doing an excellent job, but he gets reversed right here. That's big work from ICB Reaper. Still 2 minutes 15 on the clock. Still all to play for.
Full guard, but you still remember that he does a lovely job building that GA, breaking out, but he stands very low now. He's back into full guard, gets the rubber guard. Here we see. But he gets stack guard, luckily, but Jim's done a lovely job. I was about to say defense, but he got hit quite badly during the course of that.
And we gotta wonder, is like, since we really don't see Honest Jim's stamina or health, yeah, I wonder how much damage he's taken to that 97 chin.
Oh man, it might not matter if he keeps landing bombs like this. He sits him down.
Just phenomenal striking coming from Honest Jim, and it usually is like most of the fight he prefers on the ground, but this is just.
You can't underestimate Jim's striking. Jim's striking is allowed to exist because of his grappling. I'm so scared of that takedown or just getting on the ground. Jim works that jab, works just straight and just clips you at the very end of them.
It's an excellent point there, Doc. I mean, we've mentioned it in previous events. When you go to the grappling, it sets up your hands, and he's landing beautiful shots here. I mean, he's been able to, you know, chip away at the head health. He's able to get into these exchanges now. 11 seconds left on the clock, but still probably another rock to come. I wouldn't be surprised.
And the patience showed by Honest Jim is incredible. Like I've said, we've seen a lot of fights where they're just increasingly just patient, waiting for their perfect attack. And it's just, overall, you just see high-level fighters just being patient and just waiting. They rock their opponent or knock them down. They're not immediately jumping for their...
Oh, there you go. Lovely. Heading low by Reaper. Goes back for a counter, but he's a bit too slow. Leg kick again, just working that bit of the legs, and this is definitely be Jim's controlling the fight. Reaper's kind of on the back foot with all this.
Oh, Unreal, so you're absolutely right, brother. I mean, the composure for these guys in these high-level spots, they get you rocked, but they're not going to throw away their entire fight chasing that finish. They'll take it, but they're going to try and make you make a mistake rather than trying to force it and make one themselves. It's very, very educated and makes it incredibly difficult to try and mount some sort of comeback. So far, Honest Jim doing a great job, but Reaper is not out of this yet. Still looking good in terms of stamina. Head health still looking decent. It's recovered pretty well so far, but honestly, with 3 minutes 20 on the clock, it's still all to play for.
It's generally the case of, as you both were saying, it's a case of just staying measured, just looking for an opening, not wanting the finish, but you would like a finish if needed. It's one of the very cool things you see when you see Jim fight as well.
Yeah, it depends on
forces.
Honestly, as you say there, Doc, that's definitely, but that's from the position right now of Honest Jim that's potentially 2 rounds up, or potentially going in 3 rounds as it looks right now. But if you're in the point of Reaper, then you know that obviously, if you're ever in the losing spot, you feel like you're losing, then obviously that changes, right? You can't stay composed and wait purely for those opportunities. Sometimes you do have to get going and make it work, and he's in a bit of a tough spot here. His leg health is blinking, his head health is not exactly looking fresh right now either, but he needs to get something big going soon if he's able to walk away with a victory here.
As you can see, Jim's also just staying very patient, so even when Reaper's maybe looking to become a bit more explosive, he can't, because Jim is just staying away, letting Reaper engage him, not the other way around, and so Jim's kind of controlling the engagements even without actually throwing anything.
Yeah, for sure, and that's a big rock for him again, like I said, but he's staying composed, marching forward. As Andreas, mentioned earlier, the composure when he gets his opponent rocked is fantastic, not allowing himself to walk onto anything, big. He knows that the lion is still dangerous, or most dangerous when it's hurt, so giving Reaper all the respect he is due, but with 55 seconds on the clock, he lands another beautiful elbow.
Leg, another leg kick, and he switches stance again, knowing that leg is not in the greatest position. 40 seconds left, and Jim's still, again, just using that simple jab straight, just measuring the distance, flying the attempt by Reaper, just trying to be explosive.
Yeah, trying to get something unorthodox, right?
We're definitely seeing a masterclass of striking from Honest Jim. I mean, I'm learning as I'm watching pretty much. I'm improving my game just by watching these guys fight. It's amazing to see because it's like, you don't see that often in ranked or some other leagues. You don't see that great of technical striking all the time. It was just incredible to watch.
For sure, man. That's a big W for Honest Jim. Reaper's a dangerous opponent. Both guys, very, very highly, respected members of ICB. Incredibly talented opponents. And honestly, Honest Jim walking away with a huge W tonight. Reaper's a dangerous, dangerous opponent. And, he made good work of it. He went out there, grappled very well, was able to implement his striking in ways that we haven't seen from him in a long time. He's normally predominantly a lot more grappling based, but his grappling tonight set up his hands, and he goes through with a fantastic victory in the co-main event. So all props to that man right there. I'm interested to see how Reaper bounces back, but Honest Jim advances in the rankings, and I'm sure he's going to be trying to work his way back to a title shot in the near future.
I do have to say, even though, knockdowns and rocks aside, those strikes were pretty even in the fight. I was amazed when I saw that. I was like, it was basically, the significant strikes were very close. The total strikes were very close as well.
No, for sure. I mean, the thing is, he was doing a great job of fighting off his back foot, right? But it was, I think a lot of it was down to the forward pressure of Honest Jim as well. He's a very marauding style, kind of has that, like I said, it's Kobe Covington-esque in the way that he fights. Not his personality by any stretch, but the way he fights, by all means. Honest Jim's a lovely guy, but
main fighter is Kobe, so it makes sense, to be fair.
It does. He likes to, the only way to describe it is melt his opponents, right? He likes to walk forward, march them down, get them gassed.
I will say this, as Jim, I'm gonna make the sandwich the same way.
These guys, though, they have set us up perfectly for the main event of the evening, guys. I'm stoked for this one. We're going to have EK Trickzzy, the dominant champion, up against former champion EK DirtyDave. This is going to be one hell of a fight. Going to be obviously in the welterweight division. Going to be having Kamaru Usman up against George St. Pierre.
8-fight win streak.
Oh, mate, he's been killing it. He's been absolutely killing it. DirtyDave's obviously only lost against the best of the best, so, you know, no shame in his losses. But
3 fights ago with Jim, with just during the co-main, he originally lost to him in his debut, but then came back and slaughtered.
Yeah.
Not slaughtered, but he beat him in a 5th round KO.
Honestly, looking fantastic has been DirtyDave. You know, pretty much since he joined the league, he made massive advancements in his striking very, very quickly. Had incredible grappling from the boots, so was always danger there. Obviously, joining the EK guys, training with people like Trickzzy on a regular basis, Spider and Dyno, the such. You know, they've all got phenomenal hands, and you know, still working on that grappling makes him an incredibly dangerous threat. But his opponent knows him. Trickzzy knows, obviously, DirtyDave. They've trained together, and Trickzzy is the champion for a reason. He hasn't, you know, kind of wavered. He had his first stumbling block when he had his first performance, but to be fair, man, that he only had the game for, I think it was like 24, 48 hours, and, you know, kind of came up in short notice against, you know, a dangerous, honest Jim in that one. Now, obviously, since then, he's been on an absolute tear, and still champion, still winning. He's going to be fighting for it tonight, though. Like I said, DirtyDave is incredibly dangerous absolutely everywhere. Gonna have to see if he's able to keep it striking, because you've got to imagine, even with the Kamaru Usman pick, DirtyDave's probably got the edge in the grappling, right?
I don't know. Like, Dave's got good grappling, he's got good striking, but I think Trickzzy, he's just a better overall fighter. They can both be champions in their own right.
Bold words, brother. Bold words. Like I said, I think they're very, very dangerous. Both of them. I think they're just kind of polar opposites and helping. They, you know, complement each other as training partners for sure. But DirtyDave's a little bit more of a a little bit more of a grappler, sorry, but been working on his hands and doing fantastically well doing so, and very much in the reverse for Trickzzy, right? Always dangerous in the striking, and very, very good on the ground as well. So excellently matched up. The picks are very, very interesting for them both as well, right? Kamaru Usman still got that power, got a lot of abilities to, you know, go through some toughness and the cardio for days.
He's recently found love with him. He recently came out and during the Venom invitation when fighting Jamie, I think he started to found love with Usman and started to stick with him a lot more.
Well, I think it's going to encourage him to actually use his offensive grappling, because he's just prefers to. Oh, but he gets reversed there, and this is where DirtyDave is incredibly dangerous. So he postures up, moves straight over into half guard, and this is a hard man to get off you, especially with GSP. He's going to be smothering and look to work that, you know, short ground and pound. But the champion is obviously incredibly well versed here himself. Looks to go to half guard, but gets it blocked, and now gets sliced over into side control. The former champ, EK DirtyDave, looking very, very good. Plenty of time on the clock, but got to mount some sort of offense and, you know, get Trickzzy working down here.
Indeed. It's a good job by Dave getting this top control very early on. Just its first round, then maybe Trickzzy taking a bit of a slower approach, waiting to find his actual opening before he starts being aggressive. But so far, both evenly matched.
And I just want to highlight something here. Usually, best game plan facing against a GSP would generally be to put him on his back, but DirtyDave has phenomenal ground defense, and he's just he's never really in danger on his back from what I've seen most of the time.
No, he's incredibly composed, and he's definitely well versed, whether he be on his back or on top, but definitely prefers to be in top, and he's doing a good job of holding down Trickzzy in this position right now. The defense has been phenomenal. Now looking to work that ground and pound. But once again, the defense from both guys, it's incredibly high level. It's about as high level as you're ever going to see in the game, quite honestly. Two incredibly talented opponents matching up against each other for the main event. Absolute pleasure to call, and honestly, it's one of those fights that I think you could watch a number of times and still pick up something new. Like I said, these guys are very, very crafty opponents looking to work a very, you know, well-versed and diverse game.
Indeed, it's a very slow pace first round. Both of them trading a bit more inside the pocket, a lead head kick, trying to finish off the round. Both of them maybe just looking for that one last shot to signify who's won it, but with that, they disperse from the beginning.
Yeah, a little bit of a battle. Obviously, going to be lots of respect between the two. I didn't get to see the points too quickly enough then. Didn't get to scan read them, but it was a very, very close and competitive first round, so all still to play for.
Control time for Dave. So he definitely took it with one more shot in synchronous strike, so I'd definitely say it's Dave's round.
Yeah, I did see Trickzzy did have somewhat of the striking advantage, but I mean, with the control time factored in, that could have negated it as well.
Probably trades there with the uppercut early on. I mean, but the weird part is with playing Usman is he feels like he has very short hands. I'm not sure if you two have played him much, but when you do try to counter, you do just seem to fall short quite a bit.
For me, he doesn't have great leg kicks, and that is part of my arsenal. It's just too slow for me, so I just don't generally like him. For me, he seems slow.
The thing is, it's part of it though, right? When Unreal, with him, he is a lot slower, and it's why a lot of people don't like him. You know, like you said, some people prefer the more speedy opponents, but he's got that power that is really deceptive as a result. You normally expect the punches to come faster at you, but he can just touch you and, you know, really spark you like he just did then.
Yeah, just that jab, rear hook, one on the planted is just a lovely thing. An axe kick, and Usman fires an axe kick back of all things.
Yeah, I mean, that's a combination we saw from DirtyDave, actually, pretty early on. He's had it, and it's been consistent through his fights. He likes to throw it, ends up with that axe kick, and is always really, really dangerous because you catch your opponent's head, whether they duck forward, duck back. Even if you go side to side, sometimes the tracking is phenomenal on it.
Takes Trickzzy down. It's interesting to see that Dave wants to first lead on the ground.
I mean, I think this favors Dave because if he can hold him down and just work his stamina, he might be able to, you know, win the later rounds. I would say Usman's not exactly great at his stamina disadvantage because when I usually play him, I just can't figure him out. He's just too slow for me, and then once the stamina advantage sets in, it's very hard to come back from.
The one thing that's great about Trickzzy, though, is that he is, you know, well, both guys for that matter, is that their stamina managements are so high. I'm not sure if that's going to play too much of a factor into it, especially this early in the fight, maybe over the long haul, but he does a great job of defending, as you see right there, able to get the positional change.
Of GSP, Gaston and Usman, especially as you said, when factoring the fact that both of them have got very good stamina management. Usman has a 97 recovery, whilst GSP has, I believe, an 89 or somewhere thereabouts.
Honestly, man, it is phenomenally high level the way that these guys are jockeying between positions. The defense is on point, the offense is on point, and honestly, absolutely brutal ground and pound from both guys. The striking has been absolutely silky smooth when we've been in those exchanges, so there's still all to play for, man. This is only the second round, 10 seconds left to go. You've got to imagine we're going to see a third, but been one hell of a fight so far, and potentially 3 minutes left on the clock, but honestly I imagine that these guys are going to get more and more active as this fight goes on.
It's definitely 2 rounds for Dave so far. He's done a fantastic job at controlling both rounds, but you'd imagine Trickzzy will start putting a bit more on the pace on coming into this third round, knowing he wants to go to a decision that he's going to need the next 3 rounds.
It's definitely a great showcase of grappling. Like I said, we had striking master classes, now we're having grappling master classes, just learning just from watching these two savage competitors go at it.
Oh, sure, brother.
For sure. It's composed, and it's hard to tell which one has a complete advantage in each round. I mean, it's definitely back and forth. The grappling is pretty even so far. But I do believe...
Classic clinch system. Lovely job on the head shots there.
Bit of a wayfoot takedown, maybe trying to feint it out a little bit. You can only feint the single legs now, though. A little bit frustrating in the game, but it is what it is. He goes in for another clinch, and this time able to get the judo throw, able to secure the position as well. So side saddle it is. We'll have to see if he's able to hold it once DirtyDave is, you know, done and looking to move out. Nice patience and good exit from DirtyDave, but still in a side control position, and not exactly where you want to be under that massive power of Usman. You know he's going to be looking to rain down some ground and pound given half a shot.
Indeed, Usman is just not a fun person to be on top of you. He's got the control, the power, he'll just keep you there and just work you. And see, lovely deny there by Trickzzy. He's probably looking for a post drop as soon as he can. He's building up the GA with the punches.
Yeah, he's just working the GA perfect. He's just building it up slowly, and just as soon as he sees an advantage when the bar's maxed or anything, just takes the transition effortlessly.
See,
these are brutal shots.
Heavy shots. He just wants that chin down. Saw the block go break as well. That's definitely going to be an issue for further down the line.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And you know in these positions, these guys, they're not going crazy with their ground and pound either. They're very, very selective in their shots. They pick them well, and they make sure they don't gas themselves entirely out. They know that one slip, and you can be flipped. You could end up in top mount and, you know, put your opponent through a world of pain. So staying defensively good, but still raining down that ground and pound in shots. And that's a lovely transition right there. He's able to block it, go straight into sprawl. Still a minute left on the clock, but chooses to separate and try to look for some big damage on the feet.
You can see Trickzy's putting on this bit more pressure. Dave comes out with an aggressive spin kick.
Oh!
Low fakes, then clips him with a straight, coming up doubles on the uppercuts, putting the pressure on against the cage and drops him. Very low head health as well. This is definitely going in favour of Trickzzy currently. Elbow.
Mate, everything is landing. Everything, but the uppercut, the pull uppercut. Fucking DirtyDave says, not yet, it isn't over. I'm still here. Pulls that back and
this is the issue with GSP. His recovery does have an issue. So if you can wait out those first 2 rounds and as Trickzzy did and get that damage, you've now got a chin which is nearly broke.
Yeah, his chin is very suspect. What is it at? I know it's below 90. What is it, 87 or so?
No, that was UFC 3. He's got about, or middleweight, he's got about an 80, 90 chin, I believe, with an 87 recovery. Could be about that. So he's very much sketchy when it comes to in between rounds compared to Usman's 97.
Yeah, but Usman is an absolute phenom. I mean, he is an absolute phenom out here, man. His cardio is, you know, to be rivaled by anybody in the game. I believe he's a 5-star fighter as well now, right? So that extra bit dangerous. Right now, Trickzy's doing a good job, you know, overall kind of trying to get the tide going in his favor. The head health definitely starting to become a bit of a problem for DirtyDave, and that's fairly surprising considering how defensively sound he's been throughout the course of this fight.
Well, like you pointed out before, Usman's strikes are deceptively slow. Like, you don't expect them to hit you, but they definitely will.
Yeah, and the power is, you know, absolutely crazy as well. Like you say, the slower strikes generally aren't as fast, but generally aren't as hard as hitting. I apologize, but some people, you know, don't go by that rule. Sam Alvey, he may not punch fast, but he's gonna punch you motherfucking hard, man. And same with Usman. He doesn't have, you know, those crazy speedy hands, but he's got fast enough hands and the power where it really, really hurts. But with all of that being said, DirtyDave right now is doing a good job of holding top position, able to get a couple of shots in, but mostly partially blocked by Trickzzy. Once again, the defense has been phenomenal from both guys. You see the high-level GA build from Trickzzy, able to get the reversal and now himself in half guard, and good work by the champion, able to hold sprawl. Woo!
I was say Dave was doing a fantastic job holding two. Got reversed of just he knows he has to stay close. He has just to kind of now run over for the next 2 rounds, or maybe look for a finish when he can only attack, because GSP's chin is compromised now. Lovely job by Trickzzy, and gets it out of the back sitting again though by Dave.
And like you said, his chin is compromised. I mean, EK Trickzzy at any point could just rain ground and pound like he's doing
now, brother. The block is there as well. He decides to separate, but I mean, the thing is that actually allows you a moment to recover your stamina, that separation, and also allows you to then continue the pressure, because the head health doesn't recover in time if you get up, or if your opponent gets up. He lands a lovely head kick.
Nearly misses on the straight, just a bit too short. Shoots an uppercut, cuts him with a rear hook, and goes for that finish.
That pressure from Usman is just, it's overpowering.
Gets a hip.
Honestly, Trickzy's now coming alive. He's looking phenomenal at this late stage. We can't see his stamina, but you've got to imagine he's looking pretty good. The management's normally on point, and obviously now got his opponent's head health flashing when it's not even being hit. So DirtyDave is in some deep waters right here. He's had some really, really good moments in this fight, but that head health definitely becoming a problem.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of these fights where it's basically like one side gets favored and out of nowhere you're just going to see a knockout or a submission, and it's in my opinion is like the fifth round is going to be just the deciding factor. We're going to see possibly a knockout maybe or anything like that. It's EK Trickzy's fight to lose. If he continues his game plan like he's doing, he's definitely going to win the fight.
It's honestly, like I said, early rounds, but if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be DirtyDave. He's a dangerous opponent that obviously has sparred with Trickzy, I would imagine, on a number of occasions, considering that they are former campmates, both from BFAP and now in EK. So, yeah, no, these guys looking very dangerous on both sides right now. But once again, even into that fifth round, the head health is such a problem for DirtyDave. The short shot lands and got him rocked. Goes for the takedown reversal, but no, honestly, the defense is phenomenal.
Right, Dave there. Getting a reversal on the double leg bail and then come back out, even risking to trade in the pocket against Usman with a blinking chin.
Yeah, I would
big shot.
I would be, you know, at that point where it's like, okay, I really need to basically stay at range, but this could work for Dave. But
as you said, lovely defense by Dave there, making sure he doesn't get dropped. Comes back with that one with a jab, hook, ducks under the straight. This is a risky business by Dave. He
feels like he needs this round, and he could be right. He feels like he needs this round, and he's probably right here. He's trying to push for something big, even though he's hurt. You know, I suppose he's got nothing to lose at this stage. He's put on a great performance, and he's obviously trying to get that strap, so trying to make it all he can. But the champion is looking excellent right now. The composure is phenomenal, able to get that hip toss, the judo throw into the side saddle. And once again, just not where you want to be. Even just an elbow or two is going to put him auto onto a knee on belly.
That head health is so low. It's splashing with a low stam as well. You imagine that anything will just do him in at this rate. Postures up, and he could be this end for Dave. Trickzy taking it slow, working down the block.
Oh, Jesus. Trickzy picking up the W, and still EK Trickzy. That guy is a savage. He's, what is that now? Is it a 5 defense streak? He's on a few defenses. This man is a problem, and, honestly, he's going down as one of the GOATs so far, setting records with every W he picks up. That's phenomenal work for EK Trickzy, and once again, looking to set records within the promotion. He did it last time. He's looking to do it again. That's a big W over a very, very dangerous opponent.
Now, I wanted to say this before the fight ended, but, I wasn't able to because we didn't see it coming like that. But I wanted to point out when you said EK Trickzy probably had the stamina advantage. The great thing about slower fighters is you have to time your shots more, and it also makes you aware of your stamina because you have to make every shot count since you don't have a speed advantage. So it's just amazing striking from Trickzy, amazing grappling from both. It was overall a very good fight, no matter what.
No, for sure, brother, for sure. This has honestly been an absolutely phenomenal night of fights. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure to call these fights. I hope it's been a pleasure to watch them with us. Quite honestly, all of you guys, we appreciate the support massively. Everybody from the guys that helped put these events together, from Doc, obviously got Onrius in the commentary, Kryptonite King, Desire in the back, many, many more names, would be too many to list, but we appreciate each and every single one of you. The viewers, obviously the guys who are out here competing and putting on these phenomenal fights. But one or two quick kind of bits of housekeeping. We're going to continue to try and grow this thing, of course. We are going to be putting together more and more events. We've got PlayStation coming up, and obviously looking to put those guys on these events very, very shortly. As soon as we hit the roster of 50, we're going to be getting that thing going on all cylinders. We need you guys, though, and we need you guys to help us, take this thing to the moon and back. Spread it as far as you can. tell your friends, tell your neighbor's dog. Doesn't really matter. Get everybody spreading the word and let them know about Primetime. We're here to stay. We've been doing this thing for a very, very long time. We appreciate the support that you guys have been giving us, and we'll continue to put on the best fights that we can each and every week, bringing the action out, man. We're going to now hit up a channel and go and raid somebody in the community. Just going to have a little look. There's a lot going on at the moment. Give us a couple of moments, but honestly, it's been a pleasure calling these fights, guys. It's as it always is. Absolute Wars will be posting post-fight announcements a little bit later on, but you guys have a nice night. Stay blessed. Enjoy the fights a little bit later on tonight.